Shout out to all the VIP, to the base campers, guys, to all the subscribers. This is London. We're going to go through the technicals on Bitcoin. We have kind of an emergency situation. I want to talk about the details here in terms of the lines of pickup currently in the market. We had a bit of a pour down yesterday. I've been speaking about this line of resistance across the top. We did not satisfy the bull flag in terms of that line of resistance clearly indicated on the specific candle wicks. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button and let me know that you're here through a comment in the chat. Would be great. Appreciate you guys being here. In terms of the technicals, we have a real important update. We're going to talk about the details in terms of a potential breach of this specific support line as we go into the details. As we look at the candle wicks, a potential breach of that support line. We're going to go through the different time frames. We're going to talk about what is going on with BTC and what could be holding BTC up right now in terms of this specific line on the daily, probably the most important line currently in play that we really need to hold. I'm going to dig into the technicals. Angel is number one in the group. Brother, what's going on? Nice to see you, Angel. My man, Angel is first, front, and center. VIP number one, absolutely. Just an emergency stream in terms of the levels of support. Appreciate you being here, Angel, brother. How are you? Much love to you. I hope everything's going great. I know that you are doing well in your trades. The key feature here in terms of this specific line of resistance, you guys just know this was a key line of resistance. We're working with the price right now. I'm going to say this, guys. We're working with the price right here. There's a lot of different time frames, a lot of different approaches. I'm going to be honest with you. There are a lot of different approaches to complicate this situation right now. Now, Angel has been in since $7.79 at Bitcoin. He has seen this come and go. His blood pressure doesn't rise. It's a nice thing, Angel. You could lend me some of that DNA set that you have built up over the years. That'd be great for me and the VIP. It'd be excellent. We appreciate you being here, brother. In terms of this line of support, line of resistance, what's interesting about this, just the technical formation, just to review real quickly, that technical formation in line with any specific, and I know everyone in VIP knows exactly what we're talking about here. It's this specific symmetrical triangulation that gives us the right and really the duty, guys, to lift this line up. And it's not something that's commonly, I'd say, commonly shared amongst retail traders. You guys know that. It's somewhat of an advanced technique, but it is solidly, it's a solid part of TA. You guys know that. In terms of the approach, any symmetrical triangulation, we have the duty, literally it's just the duty in terms of looking at that top level target, bam, lifting this bottom line support, bam. You can do that in this instance, or really any instance. You should be able to do that with a parallel channel, okay? So the complications come in relatively quickly, and would like to know with Angel, how are your trades going, Angel? Come on, let us know in the chat. There we go. I wanted to make sure that you know that we're considering all of your trades right now, not just Bitcoin, your other coins as well. I know that we're focused on Bitcoin to the extent that we need to cover other coins. I'm happy to do that later in the stream in terms of critical lines of support, resistance, where you add in terms of maintenance of the trend. We'll go through all those specifics that you guys need, okay? I'm here at your service, okay? So in terms of that line of support to resistance, what we're going to talk about was another kind of key feature after, let me go to that key feature, and I'll go through that after we get through something on the daily. Very important pickup line, guys. This specific cross-trend line that is attempting to form right here, I'm going to go in, I'm going to snap to the magnet. I'm going to drop this down just for a moment because we've really dealt with this specific, that specific feature, okay? In terms of that top line resistance, we have dealt with that. I want you to keep that in terms of your own set of your own technicals on your desktop, etc. Make sure that you keep that line and any equivalent line, apply these technicals to your specific to your other coins, guys. These are just solid technicals, the framework, etc. In terms of, i.e., breaching this specific top line of resistance, we don't want to do that, guys. This is the daily feature. Now, there's one save characteristic. The daily time frame, there's one save characteristic in terms of this specific moving average. Now, my moving averages have changed colors just a bit, guys. They've gone from, I don't know what happened. Guys, to tell you the honest truth, I have no idea. There's another indicator on here. It's gone. I just know we're from the 200 to the 100. This is the 200 on top, 100 below. 100 is always going to be tighter to the price action, okay? So in terms of this, let me just change the colors to what we are used to. Let me go back actually to the original indicator. Let's go. Trend is your friend. Let's go back to this because everyone is very used to this specific indicator. I'll take the DAT off and let me do this with the DAT. Let me hide the DAT, the DAT. Let's hide that just 1 second. Where is the DAT? Let's go. Dun, 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 dun. Let me just do this. Let me double click on this. I just want to clear this up and make sure that it's in line with the preceding technicals that you guys have formulated over time. Okay, so that 200, there we go. That 200 is up and above. Trend is your friend. You guys are aware of that technical, I'd say, tool. That indicator is really solidly been of a lot of service in terms of looking at the different time frames. You guys know it's either support or resistance, and you kind of work your way up the different time frames. So we'll go through the details. I got to tell you guys, in terms of that descending triangle, I have to let you know that BTC has not really backed off. I got to let you guys know, has not backed off of a pattern quite as heavily from that bull flag. Since it seems like since this portion here, that was a much more solid move to the downside. But we had it in threshold, guys. We had a really nice bull flag. You guys know that. And I almost didn't even want to bring up, you guys know this, I don't want to bring up a bearish pattern. I guess the last thing I really want to do is bring up a bearish pattern amidst almost a perfect bull flag. We had the deviation on the candle wicks. You guys know 2022, check your candle wicks. And just to look at this, you guys understand, I don't want to bring up, I don't want to be a naysayer. I don't want to, continually just talk about, well, we've got some, potentially, a potential top here. I'm not the guy that's typically going to want to do that. So to the extent that that is something I needed to do, I did it. To the extent that you guys were prepared for that move, I'll say this, the trade would have been indicated and is indicated on any specific bull flag. You guys know this. Let's go through the routine. And what we like about bull flags, they can start off a good run, especially when this well formed like this, a little bit condensed, a little bit consolidated, we would say. But as you would look at this nice bull flag, we were just waiting for this line of resistance to be breached, turned into support, and boom, nice move to the upside. Would have just been phenomenal. So to the extent that you had the preparation in terms of this specific formulation of the descending triangle, understand this is what a descending triangle can do. It's capable of doing this. I know that you guys know that, particularly the ones that trade. You guys who trade quite a bit or trade frequently, you understand. Descending triangle is something that you respect, even when it's hidden amongst a bullish pattern. You always respect it to this degree, okay? So it's one thing for me to say that. It's another thing for us to see, bam, potential pour down in its full force and effect on the market. So looking at, let me look at this chat real quickly. Personally speaking, my stable of cryptocurrency coins, tokens, NFTs are bearing fruit. My man, good stuff. Good stuff. That's excellent. I want to say congratulations without a congrats. Bam. We like that, Angel. Way to go. I know that you're positioned, and the key is, I'm going to put some Ferraris down there for you. Bam. The key is always those targets at the lower levels. While the rest of the market is panicking to get in or get out, etc., you guys know it's just such an easy formula for us. We're so accustomed to it. As you look at this low target on the 4-hourly, that's your target. Bam. Beautiful opportunity to trade until a failure along this level here. Just 35%. Bam. Here's your target. Bam. Beautiful opportunity to get in and trade. Shout out to Angel. Love to hear the good report from your trades. I'll shout out to AJ Crypto too. Longtime VIP. Look at AJ's entry in BTC. It's right in here. Bam. Just literally right in that area. Let me take that extension off. Right in line with our targets, guys. So when you look at an entry like that, that's how you beat the market, guys. That's how you're a step ahead of anybody who is, kind of going a little bit gangbusters on the overexcitement of getting into something while it is going up. We like to hit the targets on the downside. That's what differentiates us from the other, I'd say that the standard retail trader is understanding our Fibonacci's, as you guys know that. And I'll say not only on the macro, right? Definitely on the macro, but also on the micro, as we look into the micro situation. No Torque, nice to see you. I sold and took my profits when London posted on the urgent video a couple of days ago on the sidelines for now waiting for positive patterns. Look at Torque. Look at that. Whoa. Bam. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. That is beautiful. That is a Torque. Nice. Torque is in. I've been giving him a hard time about not being a VIP. Bam. Look at that. Angel, what do you think, huh? Bam. Look at that, huh? That is just awesome. Look at Torque. Absolutely laying waste to the market. Bam. Beautiful move. Incredible move, huh? Nice. He sold when I did the emergency video a few days ago. What was the video on? This line of resistance. How easy could it be, guys? Buy support, sell at resistance. Just beautiful move. Beautiful move, Torque. That's impressive. Everybody got to say that's impressive. All the VIPs, everybody else, anyone else watching, like, that's a nice job. Nice job. And no, Torque is not a paid spokesman, but I'm telling you guys, he probably could be. That's impressive. Very nice to see. BTC just back to business here in terms of congratulations to you. Torque, nice Torque. We want to see you upgrade soon. We want you in the back, brother. We want you back in the back. Let me say that in terms of the different levels of the Fibonacci. You guys know they apply on the macro. They apply on the micro as well. Okay, in terms of this specific feature here, are we currently on the 20? I'd say, the first level, the 23.6. Okay, we're trying to get some traction here as measured from the preceding level here. A lot of times traders would like to go not to this level, but to the preceding level at that zone. In terms of orders, waiting, Torque, I hope you're looking for your next, as you know, buy, support, seller, resistance, trade your patterns, and hit your targets. Number one thing, guys, hit those targets. So in terms of this specific feature here, yeah, no Torque, strength, brother. Excellent work, just huge, huh? That's nice. Particularly if you're on spot, it's beautiful. If you're on leverage, boom, guys, that's 35%. Up to 35%. Bam, nicely done, huh? Way to go, Torque. Way to go, VIP. Way to go, Bitcoin Spy. Congratulations, guys. That is awesome, Torque. Hopefully, you were focusing on these lower levels as well in terms of those target acquisitions. We have some interesting features ongoing. I said an emergency video because yes, BTC is breaking down. It's been doing that for a bit. It's not just happened right now. To the extent that we don't hold this specific line of support and resistance, I want to bring this up on the hourly. Let's just kind of look at these specific these thresholds here that we have. Okay, and they're going to be. I'm going to say there's going to be, this is the issue, guys. I just haven't seen the market like this. You guys know we streamed the entirety of the retracement 2021 for BTC. You know that. The technicals were a little bit more solidly, guys, framed. I'm going to say it seems like with the introduction of Wall Street ETFs, etc., the big guys with the big guns coming into the mix, that things have gotten a little bit more complicated, a little bit more challenging. We just have to hone our skills in terms of our application of our strategies, period. Nothing changes. It's the same strategy, but we just have to refine it. We have to continually refine it. So as I would look at this in terms of what the market presents to us, that needs to be refined. Looking at this 100 and the 200 on the hourly, you can see that we breached about the 100 and the 200 in purple, right? As we go to the 4 hourly, we're going to have a little bit more room, okay? Always as you step up, you're going to have a little bit more room on those specific moving averages. Just key focal moving averages, and the trend is your friend, and I'll say that in terms of the indicator is a really strongly I say a strong companion on your charts without a doubt. Now this is a little bit I'm going to say this is within threshold, guys, or within the I say within the framework of realistic expectations, okay? Just to further, I'd say to further explain what I'm saying within threshold. This bottom line here, okay, is really I say the maximum level of support that we could extend along this lower level here. We're at that specific quote unquote threshold. Okay, that is the maximum that would be expected from the buyers to participate at. Just to let you know, now we would really ideally like a parallel function. And we'll go through this essentially with this line of resistance here. Bam, carrying this parallel function down would be ideal. That would be really ideal. So within threshold, I'm just going to tell you, we have kind of a little bit more forgiving of a line of support, right, than we would really want. We would like a rigid line of support and for buyers to step in and bam, move to the upside. That's what we would prefer. Rigid lines, not to have to push, not to have to bend, not to have to find another seat along the bottom to push even further. We don't want to have to accommodate the technicals. We want the technicals to be clear, centered, focused, and we want the buyers to participate at the clearly indicated lines. You guys know that. So to the extent that we're looking for a parallel function, just understand we've seen this a lot. I want you to apply it potentially to your other coins. It's very, very, very crucial as we would look at specific line of resistance, line of support. This channel framework, as we would dig in to the specifics. And shout out to the VIP, shout out to Torque. Congratulations, man. That is just so great. And I was just asking, I love this group, guys. I love the group in terms of asking Angel how his trades are going, and him telling me they're bearing fruit. They're doing very well from NFTs, etc. I didn't know NFT market has topped. Very interesting to look at some of those dynamics. That market top on NFTs, a little difficult in terms of some of those NFT holdings. So it's good to hear that you're continuing to do well amidst that market top that was recently experienced in NFTs. We can go through that chart in a bit if you guys would like. Looking at this parallel function, what you're noticing, what is very familiar, I mentioned it on one of the stream tapes, right? On one of the YouTube updates in terms of this line of support, line of resistance. When we go up, out, and over, right now we did it the right way. I'm going to say on this one, we did it the right way. Going up this throw over scenario, anytime we go up and over a channel line of resistance, that's a technical throw over. All right. And you guys understand classic Elliott wave, just classic Elliott wave. I would say, what would we say, just technicals, okay, down to the root core of what Elliott wave is. You're going to look at this back to the coffee chart, believe it or not. They have based this on the original coffee chart, which went super trend, okay? It was super trend. It was a coffee chart, if you guys ever look at that. But it experienced an overthrow, boom, up and over, right? That was the key feature there in terms of the coffee chart. They said, well, it's likely to return to its support and back underneath. The super trends don't like to hold. You guys check that out sometimes. And that's in the Prechter book. Very nice book, very nice addition to your trading library, Prechter. Maybe check that out in terms of you're refining your moves there on your Elliott wave analysis, okay? But that overthrow, I'm going to say again that we did it correctly with a bull flag, very nicely indicated, was a perfect way to accelerate up and out of the notion that we would not hold this. I'd say it's a micro super trend, right? Essentially, the element needed to get up and out of this zone. Now, in terms of the emergency, I'm just going to let you guys know. I said an emergency. I don't want to cry wolf. That's not the idea here. But I just want to let you know there's some key features here clearly that buyers are looking at that are a bit lower. Right, as we would look at this specific line on the 1 hourly, we have so much variance on the different time frames. I need to just let you know on the daily, first and foremost, on the daily. Now, this line will continue to develop on the daily. You guys know, with the daily in mind, it may set wherever it decides to set. The emergency feature here is we really don't want to break this line. I'm going to tell you, it's a crucial trend line all the way across the top. Bam, from this zone here in the 43.7, as extended up to the 44.5, right? This that specific trend line is a crucial trend line, guys. It's a top trend line. Yes, we have more of a, I would say more of a lateral trend line that we could go with, no problem. We go with this specified descending line. Clearly, we have touch base on that, a million times if we touch base on it once. In terms of this specific, we'll go to the Fibonacci's in one moment, but that specific, I'd say that the very well indicated symmetrical triangulation to retest. And now technical requirement, this is going to be interesting, guys, as you do notice this, and just make sure that you frame this on not only the daily, but your other time frames. In terms of this specified top line resistance, guys, it's a crucial line. We would have liked that to have received buyer support, bam, into the upside, and we're formulating something up, guys. Instead, we have returned to the 2 hourly. Or I'm sorry, the 200, not the 2 hourly. I was looking at the hours there. It's the 200 moving average. Pardon me, guys. It's the 200 moving average. That purple line. We did state the entirety of the time, and you guys know this. I'm going to go back to the RSI for an interesting update. We're going to go that. Let's see what we got. Appreciate that. Angel saying, no torque, excellent work. Where are my manners? First and foremost, hello, no torque. Hey, there we go. Nice. Nice to see you guys chilling in the chats a little bit. Nice to see the interaction at BIP. Guys, I love this group. It's just awesome to see you guys hitting targets, like selling at resistance. Like no torque, he sold at the resistance a couple of days ago. Boom, just beautiful work. I mean, that's. Do you know how many no torque? Do you know how many people are seriously down right now that just didn't do that? No torque is just showing up consistently. It's just nice to see. I want to shout out to all the VIP guys. Go ahead and hammer out in the chats. We need to know how all your trades are going. The good thing about this trade, guys, from lower targets, that's the name of the game, guys. In terms of the framework to the upside, 38% potential from that 50% retracement. Still 28% in the money. Beautiful, guys. While people are trying to get into 4 or 5, maybe 8% up in this little small zone, guys, you're well ahead of the game if you're hitting your targets. If you did not hit these, there will be other opportunities to hit targets. I promise. I promise, guys. Daily, you can hit targets, so don't worry about the opportunity to trade. Do not get anxious. Be patient. I spoke with someone last night who was yesterday who was very anxious. Angel, I almost told you about this. I wanted an opportunity to tell you about this. An individual who is who got a great entry in this level. Traded up through here. He decided to capitulate here, not no torque, someone else, with a pretty hefty position. And after getting out, they were just gangbuster, extremely excited, couldn't wait to get back in. They had to get back in. And I asked the individuals, like, how long did you wait to get into this specific position? And I tried to make a little bit of an analogy without telling somebody what to do, but I'm like, you waited 75 days to get that price. and then you traded for 2 months plus, and then you have to get back in like within a number of hours, like 75 days, then 66 days, about 65 days till exit, and all of a sudden it's a panic to get back in. Like, you have to be patient with the market. The market will make you wait, guys. Those who are most patient, you'll find that a lot of you want to book a positive trade very quickly, right? You want to book a trade today, right now. I'll tell you, the most profitable traders that I see in the market, and Angel can confirm this, he's been around for a while, guys, since $7.79, 10 years of crypto. Look at this. The ones who did the best here walked this down all the way into their target. Bam, the low target, 75 days of it, guys. So they had to wait to pick that up. That was a wait in the market. You guys know we streamed the majority, if not, didn't we stream all of this? I think we did. Since New Year's, we really started to get back up in streaming. In terms of the entirety of this, we streamed all of this retracement in here. Looking at this, but 75 days, when you put that into context and you want to trade tomorrow, right, just put it in the framework. Well, these people who did the best, just so that you know, the people who did the best, that waited 75 days. Bam, to get in. Then they waited another 60 days to get the maximized return. So just be prepared that the market will make you wait when you want to book a trade tomorrow for 20%, 50%, 10 to 15, 5%, whatever it may be. Understand the market is very rewarding to those people who are most patient. So we want to further instill that in the framework of what we discussed, right? Immediate trade opportunity versus, kind of a calm approach, not being overexposed, etc. BTC down 1%, $45,026. Appreciate you guys being here without a doubt. Looking at the framework after this line of resistance, and just critical line of resistance, right? Glad that we discussed it. Didn't really want to discuss it because it wasn't perfect within the framework of what the expectations were of the market. You guys know that. As you would look at this, I mean, the expectations of the market were bull flag. Here we go. That's it. And we had to reframe this. We had to include the pure technicals. We always will do that. I will do that. If it cuts against the grain of mainstream, I don't even care if CNBC, if their chart technician disagrees with this, or Bloomberg, their chart technician disagrees. If it's technically sound, we're going to talk about it, guys. So to the extent that played, congratulations that we had the heads up on it. In addition to that, very unpopular. When I say unpopular, bringing up anything that's potentially bearish, you guys know that. I mean, we have a channel. Honestly, we try and accommodate the traders to the maximum. But when you look at this, we did have a little bit of a hiccup here because the preceding zone had one of these and just decided to fake the traders out, bam, to the upside. So to the extent that you were playing too heavily right now, the market definitely caught you. We can identify a few of these features here in the preceding zones. That, for instance, this one here was a heavy fake out. We streamed those live. You guys look, here it goes, going down, and then wham, whipsaw straight to the upside. So BTC is a master at doing that. You guys know it's built on its recognition in terms of punishing traders who may be pulling the trigger too early, who don't have that proper strategy, etc. Crypto, overall is renowned for that. So we're looking at a pretty light day, the way that I see things right now. Pretty light day in the market in terms of let's just take an overall look. Okay, in terms of look at Dust, Jasmine, She, BCH, ETC down off anywhere from 4, 3, 2% there and about. So we have AXS, Mana, we have BNB, Gala, okay, in about 1 to that 2% range. AVAX about 2.3% off. Those are all negative numbers, like near VeChain off about a point. We have Maker, Atom. We have Doge, just and starting to get into kind of almost neutral territory, off between 0.25 all the way up through like Matic, LRC, and Sand. Okay, just barely under the radar, under the green, into just dipping into that red, just not very off, about a 0.1-0.2% there. So looking at Rose, Rune holding up relatively well off at about 0.5%. ETH, man, I will tell you, ETH. If you guys want to go over a complex, difficult, oh my gosh, guys, ETH. If you want to talk about a difficult trade chart, we can talk about ETH. Now, it was one that allowed you to produce 75% in terms of a 5L position from the point of breakout. But since then, it did not conform to expectations. I just want you to know it did not conform to expectations in terms of a full pattern. The full pattern, I'd say target expectation in terms of that symmetrical triangulation that ETH was in, There are some upset ETH traders, I'll tell you that. But if you traded it even halfway decently, you still could have booked 75%. It had 15% on spot. So to the extent that you would make that equivalent, I'd say make that adjustment on the specific 5L. It may not offer full 5L. Some exchanges do. Sometimes 5L does. Sometimes it doesn't. But it did offer you 75%. So there was just more in the trade. I'm going to tell you guys that there was more in the trade. Okay. So we know that given the pattern, etc. ETH is just a perfect example of what kind of went on in the market. It's like, man, and the traders who are in it, like, this cannot be the top of ETH. I want to let you guys know in terms of that, at least in terms of reaching that target. And I won't focus on ETH, but to the extent that it's relevant, we certainly will. It's one of those charts that you look at from a trader standpoint. You're like, man, but you have to say, man, it didn't really go, but it still gave you 15% on a 5L potentially. I brought that to the VIP in the back, and we've consistently focused on that ETH chart because it's just so clean. The technicals, it's just surprising that it wouldn't play better than what it did. Now, this is one feature continually that I keep looking at, guys. I keep looking at this, and you guys know it's in the background. I brought it up the last 2 or 3 sessions. You guys know this, right? It's just I keep going back to this specific pattern. It's almost I'm going to say there are multiple time frames which disagree with a flat top. I just tell you, you guys know the flat top's required for any specific ascending triangle. On the 77-minute, it's the only thing I'm going to say. The 77-minute, you guys know that's kind of like it's like I have the 86 in terms of retracement. I kind of have the 77-minute to show me a little bit of extra guidance on the charts. Just take a look at it every now and then. Don't let it be a guiding factor. But the 77-minute does have a flat top on the specific ascending triangle framework, the ascending line of support and the flat top. The other time frames are close. If you would look at this, the other time frames are close, but that 77 minutes sometimes will give you that extra nudge in terms of like, okay, maybe it's this pattern. Maybe it really is this pattern. And you can adjust the open, high, low, close. Just to let you know, you can adjust the open, high, low, close on your chart. If you choose to, kind of an advanced feature, you don't have to, right? But you can get the hourly to look almost exactly like the 77-minute just by adjusting whether or not you're going to register the open, the high, the low, or the close, right? So that's a feature we can go over. It's a little bit advanced. I just want to say it feels like you're manipulating, but it's almost like, I know how not to do this calculus problem, correctly. Let me backdoor this calculus problem. It almost feels like you're really getting into kind of the advanced technicals beyond. It's like you're going to change your price. You guys can do that to the extent you want. Very few traders actually do with consistency, like, adjust the 1 hourly permanently like that. Normally we go with what's out of the box, right? On TradingView. It's just normally what we do. But if you look at the difference here, let's look at the difference on the hourly. We have this ascending feature in this zone, and this is very immediately pertinent right now. This ascending feature right here along that line of resistance. Okay, if we go to the 4 hourly, you'll see that we have more room. It's actually descending. So the one thing I'll say about the 77-minute, it cuts the difference perfectly right now between that hourly and the 4 hourly. So look at that as a potential tool to give you a different reference framework, and you can always add that to your trading view. You guys know that. Click on this here, and you'll go to what if I add? Let's see, add. How do you get into? You can go and you can. We'll go through at some point. If we go to we can go on the very bottom of this. Not sure you can even see that, but you can add the framework, whichever time frame you choose, just to have it on your favorites, just to click through it and take one quick look at it. Okay, so I would recommend you guys do that. And I mentioned the 77 quite frequently, but to the extent that we have. And this is the issue with the market right now, guys. This is the way that it is trading, though, that Bitcoin is trading recently. It will show, like on the 4 hourly, the descending line. On the hourly, it'll show that we've already capitulated beyond, right? It is just not favorable towards, I'd say really, aside from basic Fibonacci's on the candle wicks, that's going to be your save. Your basic Fibonacci's, believe it or not, on the candle wicks have worked out to be a little bit more of a consistent framework, whether or not they're more accurate. Okay, understand, a more consistent framework. Fibonacci's applied to the candle wicks. Okay, and this is me talking. Yeah, this is London talking. You guys know, like, whoa, hold on. But this is a more consistent framework to get into. And yes, there's a sacrifice in accuracy. I will admit that there's going to be a sacrifice in accuracy. We're dealing with so many different time frames in terms of the mixed messages, etc. It's a difficult market to really get the good pickup aside from this base level macro, okay, the macro feature in terms of those Fibonacci's, right? And that lower level, that lower target that I had below even that 50% mark, and I will just take that for a feather in the cap in terms of VIP for this year, that I was able to deliver a target below that 50%. If you guys will recall that when price came into this zone and started to traject up and then boom, you think today was aggressive, you think today, the last couple of days was aggressive, you need to add that into coming back down and slamming in beyond the 50%. Boom. That was a little bit of a stressful event. We had that target there, that acquisition target for you guys to deploy in the market. And that's just exciting to see that we had that ahead of time. Kind of take some of that emotional advantage away from the market when it decides to really hammer down. Now on the 4 hourly, we can address the 4 hourly real quickly. Now the key feature and kind of the emergency feature, I want to reframe real quickly just again. Any line of top resistance, we just want to hold. The reason is the following. That the established line of resistance will act as resistance again. It has the potential, it has the potential to act as resistance again. So we don't want to capitulate these lines of resistance. You guys understand that, even as we work on the framework here. And this has been, I will say, this has been part of the framework as we would look at establishing an uptrend. There is nothing out of the ordinary in terms of flipping the 200. You guys know that. Flipping the 200 and doing what? And let's do this just in terms of the overall approach. And shout out, guys. I appreciate the likes, comments, etc. Would appreciate you guys hitting the like button. Let me know that you're here, right? Even if you guys aren't around too much anymore and you're kind of just checking out what's going on today, I hope you guys are doing well. If you're a former or current VIP, just big salute to all you guys. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going well in 2022. From the heart, hope you guys are doing well. All right, in terms of this specific move to the upside preceding, what do? We retested that 200 moving average. Bam, right? Just absolutely on that daily chart. As you look at your other coins, your altcoins, whatever you're trading right now, notice this, bam. And that was always part of the plan here, to get up and above and establish this 200 and the 100, as levels of support. So while it seems, and yes, we're in a critical juncture right now, that this needs to hold, we need to establish this 200 as support. You guys will know, hey, what's going on with Pathfinder in the house? Pathfinder, boom, nice to see you, brother. Boom, nice to have you here, Pathfinder. Pathfinder, great VIP, incredible charts. And Slim, goody in the house. What is up, Slim? Doge, goody, what is going on, brother? These guys in the back, Angel, you got to know these guys are just absolutely killing it with the charts. I mean, they have got I got to be honest with it. They have got what was the chart brought up today? I'll tell you, Slim is real good at pinpointing coins that may just be about to launch and take off. He just loves it. It's in his blood, guys. He literally is in the back, and it's like, this one's about to pop. And we just love watching him. It's like, what's the next one going to be? What's the next one going to pop? And he just loves the charts. It's really nice to see Pathfinder. Pathfinder brought up the USDT.D. And we can reframe on that USDT.D after this specific point is made. But great charts in the back, guys. Nice to see you. Nice to see you both. And thanks for shouting out. Angel's in the chat, just so you guys know. He's up above in the chat there. He is with us this stream. So you guys are welcome to chat with him and kind of say what's going on if you choose to. In terms of the trend, establishing the uptrend, right? This is a part of the ball game. What is going on right now? As much as it doesn't seem like it, right? This is a necessary component as we get up and above this specified feature of these moving averages. We need to use them as support. They need to act as support. So while this seems like, I'm going to say this, while it seems like a precarious position that we're in, and I'll let you know it is somewhat of a precarious position because it does need to function as support, right? This does need to take, right? This is the uptrend right here. Now, yes, it could dance around. I'm not one that wants to dance with Bitcoin. Like, I want it to go in one direction. I want it to be solid. I want it to conform to technicals. It's typically pretty good at doing that. You guys know, in terms of the targets, etc., these targets to the downside, I want it to hit at the 50 or below on a preceding breakout. For instance, right, preceding breakout level, right, in terms of a lower target that it could hit, that it did hit, right, I wanted to conform to the technicals that it expresses to us over time that it has already, because we've studied it already. We've been around it. Some here in the audience, obviously, Angel for 10 plus years, I could say 10 years. I could say 10 years, without a doubt. As we look at the technicals, we just appreciate when it does conform to the technicals. So yes, it could dance around this line. Pathfinder, shout out to Angel saying, how is it going? Angel saying, we all want yesterday, but we still concentrate on today. We will So we will have tomorrow. Boom. That's the truth, isn't it? We all went yesterday, right? Can we redo that trade? Can we get for Pathfinders, can we get BTC down in the golden pocket at any point in time, please? You guys know that he's very big on value. He hit the low in the market on Doge. Well, everyone's crying about, losing money from the top Pathfinder in our back group. He hit the low on Doge. I'm like, man, it's like that's impressive. Like, you're not going to find us complaining about lower prices pretty much on anything. So looking at this requirement, step one is bam up and above these moving averages, right? Simple stuff, but I want to reframe it in the context of, yes, we're retesting that specific level of potential support on the daily, guys. That's a big deal. We won't know essentially unless we get really far away from it, I'd say that, either to the upside or downside, whether or not we will set on this or use as support. Just understanding the previous framework that we were a little bit beyond it here. So let's not lose the steam of the equation here in terms of establishing the uptrend, breaking the specific moving averages, then using them as support. Were we to set just a little bit below or even above this specific line, right, on the daily, just keep that in mind that we do push those lines just a bit below that 200. So that's in the characteristic set of BTC in the past. Now, on the daily, now again, this will take some time to set, right? This will take some time to work. I want this line to hold. I'm going to tell you, on the daily, I want this specific line to hold, ideally, okay, to the extent that there's a little bit of an interaction here. The daily has been a very solid framework, a very solid time frame for us to look at, guys. The patterns on the daily have played really well, okay? Now, this rounding feature, I discussed that. We'll go through some other issues that I just brought up, but I want to talk about this rounding feature. Why don't, and this is on BTC and your other coins, guys, in terms of the specific nature of this rounding feature, we don't like them. I'm going to tell you, from the trading standpoint, we're just not a big fan of this, guys. In terms of the ellipse here, this top level ellipse here, which is clearly indicated with a hit 1, hit 2, hit 3, hit 4, bam, on and along this line. We don't like it because we have a multitude of different lines of resistance or support to operate off of. It's not favored by the traders, guys. We have a line there, then we have a line here, and I'll say essentially this is indicative of an Elliott wave formation, as you guys would understand that. Any top line rounding feature, all right, you're going to see that typically in any kind of Elliott wave feature. So it's not that we disagree with them being there. It's a part of the price action. Like, we're fine with a rounding feature. As we would look at this, if we were to discuss the specifics of the, let's say, an ellipse or the kind of an arc right here, I guess. As we look at the arc formation, that's fine. I mean, we're used to having them, but to play off of them in the context of trying to establish, and let me get rid of that specific Fibonacci, to play off of them to establish additional features and pattern formations in and around this zone just makes it difficult, okay? It presents the traders with a challenge and a complication. So not that it's unheard of, it's actually very much a part of the framework of technical analysis that we would encounter something like that. Just understand that it's not favored because we do have a lot of different trend lines to potentially discuss, a lot of different targets to potentially hit, right? That's the that is the framework. So in terms of and I have my RSI set on a different featured number. Let's go into this. Okay, I have that set on a different featured number. I'm going to keep that there. To the extent that we would want to add in MACD, I think it's probably a decent time to add in MACD. Let's go ahead and do this real quickly. I may have it on the other charts real quickly. Let me see. MACD strategy. No, we want momentum, price momentum signals. Let's see if we got this. Let me go into divergence, stochastics. Okay, great. I got this on real quickly on Rocket 33. Rocket 33 is the nice MACD. Let me go ahead and raise this up into the relative strength index line. Let me push the relative strength index line, down to a lower equivalent there. Now, as we look at the MACD, I'm looking at the momentum, right? We had discussed this, and I want to rediscuss this, okay? In terms of what I brought to the community was, and we'll go through the framework real quickly here on the left-hand side. Let's go ahead and add it back in. Let's go to BTC on the left-hand side. Let me add in the RSI. I'm going to put 20 through 30 and 70 through 80 RSI levels by Abdomi. You guys know that one. I know that you use that. In terms of these specific features, I want to talk about this specific notion that the buyers did, and let me go ahead and add in the RSI below that. Let me do a little bit of chart work here so that we can add in and visualize exactly what is occurring. There we go. We got the RSI. Below, I have the RSI on the screen as well. A very interesting circumstance, okay? As you look at the RSI on the left of the BTC chart, if you'll take a look at this, I have the MACD here and below, okay? We're going to look at the essentially the strength, MACD strength, okay? These blue waves, you guys have heard me recently just say I just want a big blue, beautiful wave. Bam, nice, lots of price action with those nice big blue waves. A lot of momentum to the upside. Bam, bam. Those are those nice big blue waves, right? And as we would look at the specific feature here, on the daily, we're on the daily on the left-hand side, you'll just see that we literally cut right into this notion of being overbought, okay? Just right into that notion of being overbought. I have, as much as this framework looks, well, I'll say messy, we could definitely clean it up. I just want you to know, we're just touched into that overbought territory. That's momentum, right? So the expectation, I'm going to reframe this. I'm going to state this again. The expectation based on the probabilities. Now, based on the probabilities, if we're looking at even 7 or 8 out of 10, guys, I mean, I'd say over 6, 7 to 8, maybe out of 10. If we were to look at that, even within the framework, understand that, well, that's still 3 out of 10 could happen, right? We don't want this RSI hit in and this is both, we're both looking, both charts are on BTC right now to discuss the framework of the technicals. Okay, so as we look at reconfirmation and using that 200, that 200 in terms of the line of support, okay? That's crucial in terms of establishing this uptrend. Just huge. That is the uptrend, guys. Okay, use the moving averages as support, technically speaking. That's going to be the definition of the uptrend. So as we would look at one of these factors that came into play would be that hit right there on the white line. If you look at the RSI below, you'll see hit, bam, right into that region of overbought, just right onto it. So that's a momentum indicator, meaning who has the momentum? The buyers had the momentum. The buyers have been buying. The buyers push this into overbought territory. The indication would be, yes, when sellers achieve oversold, they have a tendency to continue with the momentum and they continue to sell. So this may be, I'm going to say it may be for the record, one of the oddities in the market where we achieve an overbought status. Now you'll notice this, and please pay attention to this. When I did the video, and I try to do those videos quickly, but with enough force in the communication there that you guys maybe will listen through a little bit of what I was saying when I said we're expecting this to continue to the upside. That's what we need. We need the buyers to continue to show up. Complication of the patterns, etc., could affect. Okay, overall world events could affect as well. But as we look at this, I did say, and always expect some interaction at this level, okay? Just so that you know, I stated that extremely, extremely clearly. Do expect some interaction at this level, okay? Now, by interaction at this level, what do you mean interaction? I mean, let's just go ahead and put this up here in terms of the or for example, if I were to say this, not just saying, as an example, I would say preceding hit in along this overbought territory. What do we have? In my book, this is called interaction. Some interaction with this preceding level of the price, okay? Buyers pushing into overbought territory, right? In momentum with the buyers, boom, interaction would be a fallback to, i.e. a different level of the moving averages, right, to work as support. Bam, hit again, more interaction. Bam, overbought, interaction. Overbought, bam, interaction. Overbought, bam, interaction, right? Using the EMAs as a structural framework to continue to channel this price up, right, to frame the price work. So the price action. So when I would talk about this specifically, when I do mention that, me individually, when I mention this in terms of expect some interaction, that is, for the record, what I mean, okay? So from now on, if I ever state that with you guys specifically, you'll know, expect some interaction with this. Yes, a hit into and potentially, a kickback. Bam, bam, bam. You're seeing a lot of interaction between that overbought territory. But you see when the momentum gets going with the buyers, okay? It's a momentum indicator. They like to keep buying. Now, those are the probabilities. I'm just going to state that, and that's not me. That is that's from a verifiable source. I will introduce you guys to that source to the extent that you guys would like to reframe your own technicals and begin to trade that way. Because on the whole, you'll see it at the lower time frames. Check out your 5 minute. Check out your 30 minute. I'm gonna challenge you guys. Check out your hits on your 30 minute, your 5 minute, on your RSI on oversold when you're cruising around. See how many trades you could book if you take the approach that the RSI as a momentum indicator is not necessarily a reversal. More often than not, it's a momentum indicator that you'll have a hit, another hit, another hit. Look at your 5 minute. Look at your 30 minute. Watch this dance along this line and see how the momentum plays. See how many trades you could book by using it as a momentum and continuation. I'll say it as a continuation indicator with said interaction. all right, with said interaction, right? In terms of the hit features that it does provide, still amidst that continuation. I challenge you guys to look at that. See how many trades you could book. If you're focused on trading, it takes a watchful eye to master this, because it takes a lot of time, right? Okay, because you'll get that interaction, the hit before the continuation down into that additional level of the RSI into, let's say, oversold, right? That momentum indicator. So we're overbought. The notion of all this is for buyers to truly gain that momentum and to continue what they've already essentially established the framework of in a form of achieving that overbought territory. So just and I challenge you guys, I do, and that's a challenge, guys. Try and book those trades on the 5-minute or the 30-minute, etc. Get down in there on the 1 minute, check it out. How many times do you hit oversold, and then you have another drop down into oversold? Just check it out. How many times does it work? Does RSI, these are the RSI levels in the red and yellow. You guys who watch a lot, you know that. This RSI level, how many times does it operate as a direct reversal? Bam, right off the bat. How many times is it functioning as a continuation pattern instead? Or a continuation indicator instead, okay? It is a momentum indicator. I challenge you guys to look at that. I think that you'll be very impressed. If you're looking to book some positive trades, I think that you'll be able to book some positive trades. I know you will, okay? So pay attention to that, please. Now, let me get back into the framework here. All right, we're looking at the 200 moving average. Again, we just covered the fact that 200 moving average is a crucial level to begin to operate as a level of support. Hugely important. We discussed on the daily. And of course, on the lower time frames, we have different indications. If you're just tuning in, make sure that you hit the like button. That will let me know to cover additional features that we covered in the beginning of the stream. It's an emergency stream. I want to talk about the fact, and shout out to No Torque, guys. No Torque is a base camper. We're waiting for him to get in the back with VIP. Just, brother, you're welcome back there, just so that you know you are welcome back there. No Torque saw my video a few days ago in terms of that emergency. I want to let you guys know he booked trade, bam, right here at the top, exactly in line with that threshold. Now, you understand where this channel formation comes from. I know it wasn't popular when I brought it up, guys. I know it wasn't, and I know it's popular to maybe watch things that are popular. I like to try and hone in on the technicals and at least bring you the framework to work with in terms of this top line resistance here. Bam, just clearly technically indicated in that top line resistance. Now, it's not a complete fallout, but to the extent that people got overexcited in this area, I even know personally some people that were just parking cash inside of the bull flag before the technical requirements were there for the trade. And I was there just to let you guys know. I mean, these are some seasoned investors that decided to go ahead and park some cash inside. And no one that you guys know, just on the side in terms of some people I meet in and around, deciding to park cash in this bull flag before it was indicated to trade to the upside. I'm like, whoa. I was like, why in a rush all of a sudden? Honestly, I was just like, really? And I also know that it wasn't very popular in terms of bringing you at least the framework. I want to bring you the framework. If it's there, if it plays to the upside, we're thrilled, guys. You guys know we are excited if it operates to the upside. But the framework of the descending triangle, this is the level of respect you need to give a descending triangle if and ever you do see one presented, period. Okay, the fact that it was being achieved along the line of resistance, I tell you, we had faked out 2 or 3 times in 2 or 3 preceding descending triangles. That was honestly what I was hoping for. This morning, you guys know, this morning we were over this line of resistance just slightly. We were in the back, guys, with VIP, and you guys need to know, if you weren't trading and you were just holding the position, which I'm not going to fault you at all for trading the way that you choose to trade. We trade bull flags with a breakout. And in terms of this, you guys need to know, this is how close it was. Like literally direct on with the 5-minute chart. Look at this. It's not maybe it broke out. It did break out. We were there this morning in the back with VIP. Shout out to all the VIP, because the trade was not indicated. It was just a tough situation, guys. A tough play. It really could have been something nice, but looking at this specific level here, it just did not. It didn't want to play, and it was just really clearly, I mean, we had a lot of nice price action to the upside. The candle wicks provide some differentiation, but we were just there. I mean, it was like on the 1 minute time frame. It's like it did this little bit of a notion of a hit into the resistance, and then it wanted to get up and above, and this was the attempt to essentially confirm and get out up and above. If we really tighten our lines up to confirm and push up and above, small kind of a pennant failure in there, it just didn't have it. It decided to recoil, and it was just tough, guys. It was a tough move after when we were looking at that line of resistance. You guys know we were looking at a descending wedge that performed very well. By the way, we're looking at this descending wedge here to I say precede the breakout who are extremely excited. It's like, this is a nice one. Confirmation, boom, move to the upside. We're out. Let's go. Let's go. But we didn't get the confirmation. We didn't get that momentum to the upside. So the descending triangle ultimately played. Not something I wanted to occur, but at the same time, guys, I'm just glad we were able to bring you that framework. And please, just anytime that you see even a bit of a hidden one, right? This one was tough on different time frames. It wasn't exactly a flat bottom. You had to hunt through the different time frames to see exactly which time frame would match up with a flat bottom support. But when you see those, just be aware, be on high alert if you could. Just a word of caution, I would say to you guys in terms of. Let's see what we have. Let's see. How many VIPs use a stop loss? Boom! You guys are chatting in the side. That is awesome. Appreciate you guys chatting. That's awesome. And Angel talking about a stop loss. Huge component of the trade detail, guys. I know your strategy is par none. I know you guys are kind of number one, guys. I'm just gonna tell you, kind of. I say that around Angel's like kind of. I kind of joke with him because he's been involved. He invested in Bitcoin at $7.79. I know you guys are kind of number one, but I know out of all honesty, we have some great traders. Really a pleasure to be with you guys. And if the market ever goes south, I know that you're not gonna stew in the revel in the pain of it, right? You've got your targets below. I wanted to bring up MACD for a specific situation or a specific commentary on MACD right now. We have shifted MACD into an apparently kind of a negative sequence here. This is on the daily. Yesterday was a big move with this move down in terms of this wave formation. We like this wave formation to continue dark blue on the way up. That's strength. Okay, we like that momentum to continue to the upside. We have capitulated. Now this can pick up. It can go. We can continue. We can reverse this wave formation as we look at this on MACD. I think it's best understood in terms of the wave undulations. Okay, we can go into moving averages above or below, etc. But in terms of that, just understand the big blue wave is what we want. Okay, the shift from dark blue, light blue. That light blue means that we're getting into as we would look at this, that we're getting into some decreasing momentum. Right, momentum strong to the upside. This dark blue portion, bam, moving strong to the upside. Then decreasing momentum, right? Decreasing momentum here. You see the price reflect that clearly into the negative portion of the MACD. Just a serious consideration as we would look at this fallout here and maintaining strength in this move. It's yesterday's set was. Set on the MACD was a difficult set because we don't want to be rounding down into negative territory again. If you will recall this specific feature here, we rounded down into and did pick up. Okay, that would be the expectation, or I'd say that would be the hope or the anticipation here is that we could pick back up on the MACD and the other technicals to give us a framework to trade up and above while we're trying to use this line, this 200 as level of support. I'm just so excited for any VIP guys, anyone who was watching No Torque, one of the top base campers, VIP, etc. Love the fact he shouted out it in the comments earlier on, so you guys know. No Torque in the comments. He literally booked his trade right here. Bam. He's like, no, London, I saw your video 2 days ago and I booked up here. Bam. Like, hello, nicely done, huh? Very, very smooth, right? Everyone's like, well, I guess we should do that. Should have done that now. He also knew, I guarantee you, he also knew that we had this bull flag at the top, right? That was the indication. We had a continuation pattern to the upside, a movement, a bull flag to the upside. Very cleanly presented, like extremely cleanly on the lines. Now, we had some differentiation on the candle wicks. You guys know that. Some strong differentiation on the candle wicks. So down about 1.75 from the top here, kind of crucial from that level of resistance that we identified. From that level of resistance that I brought to you guys, you're down 7.52%. That's some money, guys. That's a move, right? Particularly if you're on leverage, etc. Just always understand when I'm bringing you guys this information. And there's an indicated entry, level of entry. It's hugely important. This line of support, line of resistance, right? This framework, where did it come from again, guys? Just that we can put it into the construct of solid technical analysis, looking at this specific triangulation here. You guys understand one of the dynamics of every triangulation. Let me turn the color here so it's not so blatant there. Let's go through this one more time. Any specific symmetrical triangulation, one of the options and really the requirements of the market is to raise that bottom level. You guys know this is to raise this bottom level support, bam, to formulate the potential move to the upside, that potential target to the upside, the completion. That is an option for the completion of the move of any symmetrical triangulation. That is not me talking, guys. That is an established norm of technical analysis, period. Okay? To the extent that we're currently in the process of reconfirming along this prior level of resistance to move to the upside That would be so ideal, and I know that everybody in the ballpark would be going crazy, feeling like a grand slam. That would be the grand slam equation for us too. On the candle wicks, let's talk about this, guys. We would look at this specific move right here is crucial, okay? Because those of you who trade a lot know that the specific, and this is getting good, guys. Take a look and really bear into this. As you would look at this, first of all, let's go through this top line support to resistance, right? As we would drag this up, we had this so clearly indicated on the specific hits along these preceding lines here as well. We almost didn't need the rule that accompanies the symmetrical triangulation. We almost didn't need this rule. You guys know that. We had the line, or the candle wick framework here with these wicks. Bam, bam. We already had that in play. So the fact that it plays on every symmetrical triangulation, I encourage you to pay attention to that. That's how your bull pennants turn into bull flags, believe it or not. That's how your bull pennants turn into bull flags. If you guys trade a lot, you know what I just said, okay? In terms of how a triangulation will turn into a specific channel formation. So the ideal, the grand slam notion right now would be that amongst this, let's say amidst this specific push here to the upside and this capitulation, I'll say it's quite high for a standard confirmation. I think you guys will agree with that. It's quite high for a standard confirmation. As we would look at this is extending these lines really, really kind of up and above the framework that I think is naturally indicated or feels kind of natural on the charts. I'll just say that. We have a big gulch down here, etc. We also have, just mind yourselves of this. Mind yourselves of this. We have this support to resistance feature here. That's a key line. I brought that threshold up yesterday. That's specific. Support to resistance feature here. Now, this is a very interesting moment for BTC. Please pay attention to this, guys, if you can. This specific framework of the support to the resistance here, you guys see that? Okay, that is a cross trend line. That technically, and this is a contraindication on the charts, guys, that technically excludes this portion, okay, from the triangulation. Just so that you know, that technically operates as a cross trend line, which excludes that prior zone from the specific symmetrical triangulation. You guys get that, right? Hugely important. As we would look at the potential for a reconfirmation along this line, that is a standard cross trend line that the market is currently looking at. I'll tell you, they're trying to pick that up, guys. That's a nice pickup. One of the most well indicated when you talk about volume differentials or let's just say bulk of orders, etc. At different price activity, volume orders, etc. If you want to get into point of control, etc., we can. But look at this. With all of this price action here, this is a ground in level of support, guys. And looking at this rounding feature here, this is when, hopefully we would say that arc would come in a little bit handy. If we would look at the specific arc formation here or the curve, looking at this specific curve formation here might come in a little bit handy here just to say, okay, yes, right, up along this specific level here. Support to resistance, that is a crucial cross-trend line. Would also operate technically as a confirmation off of the symmetrical triangulation to move us to the upside. I will state that this is a high confirmation. The market knows this. You guys who trade a lot, that's a pretty high confirmation. I'm going to tell you guys, it looks like a high confirmation. The market participants right now are more willing, almost more willing to do something like that. I'll just tell you, almost more willing to do something like this and say, okay, let's see what else we can formulate in here, because that would be one monster triangulation there. That would be very, very exciting to trade. I'll tell you guys that. But to the extent that you're currently on a pickup in terms of that cross trend line, yes, you are. You're also on the daily, just so that you know. We're also on the daily. Okay, we're on that 200 moving average, period. We're on that 200 moving average. That is a crucial feature. Trend is your friend is the specific trend indicator that we have, indicator that we have on TradingView right now. In terms of the framework of these specific, and this is going to be very detailed, because right now on the candle, which you're also on this prior level of resistance, just crucial as you would talk about framing a confirmation play with BTC. Okay, in terms of this triangulation, however you have it done on your charts, I would just state that we have almost an independent level. If we were to go to the, let's go to the 4 hourly real quickly. The 4 hourly, this specific line of resistance across the top, bam, bam. We have this very well framed in terms of in terms of the technical need for a confirmation. Yes, we need a confirmation for a symmetrical triangulation. Okay, but I'll tell you this: it is not standard. Listen, guys, it is not standard as we would look at the technical need for a confirmation, it is not standard to achieve a specific channel framework to the upside before reconfirming. Guys, that's a little late in the game. I'm just going to tell you the standard expectations are that we would loop up in this area. We would not achieve this top line channel at a standard on a standard technical trade. We just wouldn't. We would. That's beyond our expectations. So to the extent that this would continue, I'd say to reinforce the pattern framework here, to operate as a resistance to a support line. We welcome that. It's outside of the expectations, the normal expectations of the market. Just understand that. That's if you trade a lot, I'm going to say that, guys, and if you trade more than we trade and you disagree with me there in terms of a standard completion and a standard reconfirmation, okay, after you, that it would be typical for you to achieve this top line resistance here in terms of the top line target of a symmetrical triangulation, which on the lines, this is the top line threshold. You have to realize how much variability there is on the lines. Okay, look at all the variability in the lines here. You guys see this? How much your specific triangulation starts to disappear and dissipate, really, as you look at the lower time frames. Look at the weekly, for instance. And you guys know this, whether or not we're at threshold or at target. Look at the weekly real quickly. You guys see this. On the weekly time frame, guys, you're done. Period. You're done. On the weekly time frame, 100%, you have met your target. Bam, stacked to the upside, and you are 100% complete and out of it. That is it. Bam. Beautiful trade. That's it. On the weekly, that's it. The amplitude move of this symmetrical triangulation. Now, as you get into the lower time frames, okay, into the daily, into the 4 hourly, etc., you're going to see some additional volatility clearly in your specific charts, in your specific symmetrical triangulation that continues to operate, and the maximization thereof will be on the candle wick. So we're challenging this notion right now that essentially that we would be able to traject this highly, okay, to this degree up and over the triangulation, and to use this as a standard confirmation. I just think it's high. I will stick with that statement. I trade a lot, guys. You trade a lot. It feels high to me. This is a high confirmation. That's an up and out, and here we go. Right? We were moving. We were ready to go with another bull flag, and a collapse down to a confirmation. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that again. If you guys trade a lot and you disagree with that statement, let me know. I'd really like to know if you believe this is a natural level of confirmation. I wouldn't think it is technically, and we have handled a ton of patterns. Granted, a ton of patterns, pardon. Granted, this is a very large symmetrical triangulation. To the extent that it represents another defect, we can talk about this, and this is important. And Angel, I'll catch up in 1 second here with the chats. I see that you guys have chatted. I've been really focused on the technicals, and we will get into the chats in 2 seconds here after I focus on the looks like my phone device is going out anyway. Let me go to the specifics here. You guys will like this, and I'll get in the chats in 2 seconds. Looking at the specific framework of the Fibonacci's applied to the symmetrical triangulation, to the coil, they will call this a coil, okay, or a symmetrical triangulation. We did, and you guys know this, we broke out early, okay? Yes, it was a monster pattern, right? As you would look at this, we would expect, now look at the difference here. Look at the zone in which we broke out. We would expect to break out in the 50 to really this 38.2, 32 kind of being the sweet spot up in this zone. I normally tell people about, anywhere up into about 75% is kind of the maximization. We don't want to work into the red zone, right? We don't want that on a symmetrical triangulation. Okay, but as we begin to go from the candle wicks to the actual, I'd say line charts here, we're going to get some differentials here. We're going to start to condense down into, like if we go to the weekly, this is the challenge, guys. This is the challenge to the traders 2022 on BTC right now. And your other coins. Your other coins have some phenomenal patterns ongoing. Some of them are repeating between your specific altcoins. Some of them are repeating. You guys know that. In terms of the pattern framework, makes it a little bit fun. You guys can pick up on that next strong mover in terms of your next coin. Waves has been phenomenal. Rune has been fantastic. We have a lot of VIP that are trading different coins, including Theta, including, of course, Dogecoin, without a doubt. Let me see if I can redo this real quickly just to get to the framework that I want. That will be perfect. There we go. So you see this conformed perfectly, nearly perfectly on the weekly time frame, up and out just before we got into that red threshold. You see, that's perfect. I like that. A takeoff in this zone, takeoff in this zone. I don't want to get to the 38.2 or the 23, etc. Just a takeoff before we get into the extreme apex of the triangulation. That's expected. About this, 60 to 75%, I tell people, right? Typically, that's what we see. Looking at the framework of the lower time frames, let's go into the 4 hourly real quickly. Let's look at the 4 hourly. You'll see that we have a much more, and this is extended on through the candle wicks. What we have is a breakout And let me see if I can get to this in terms of the actual candle wicks. We have a breakout. It's very, very premature. Very premature, guys. We would like the heart of this to be kind of filled in up and along this zone at the 50, let's say at least the 50, like get us into the 60, 75. We're happy at the 60 plus, right? 60 to 75% zone with multiple hits along this line of support, multiple hits along this line of resistance. If you guys go to the Ethereum chart, that's a smooth chart, guys. I got to tell you, it's a smooth chart. I'm not a big Ethereum fan in terms of trading, but I have to say that was a smooth chart, guys. Look at that Ethereum chart sometime soon and enjoy that. So to the extent that I bring up this standardized framework of technical analysis, okay, the technical analysis standardized framework of the symmetrical triangulation, it is to reinforce the fact that we have a difficulty viewing this as just a confirmation, a standardized confirmation at this level. We just do. Now, we can go through what else it might be, but already I will present this as a defect in terms of I say the framework. Let me go ahead and lighten these up for you all, and I'll get in the chats in 2 seconds. Let my phone charge up actually right now. As I would look at this, let's do away with this this blue zone here in the back. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, there we go. I need to charge up that phone real quickly. Just 2 seconds, I'll get back in the chats. In terms of this line of resistance to support, I've taken the colors out of the Fibonacci wedge. To the extent that that is a defect or an altered, say an altered technical, okay, that may be fine. That's an altered technical that we would break out early. Are we ready for another altered technical or kind of technical defect? Right, and I just say, when I say defective, it is because there are standardizations that we expect certain patterns to have ideally, right? Ideally, to really reinforce the pattern, to reinforce the framework between the buyers and the sellers, the levels of resistance, support, the demand function, the targets to the upside, carrying up, for instance, this specific level of support to resistance. There are frameworks, there are percentages that just, if you trade a lot as well, it's like, well, this one just kind of feels wrong, right? If we would look at the bull pennant, to the bull flag, to any really feature, to the bear flag, etc. They all have levels. They all have distinct preferences to them. Like a bull flag, that one looks nice. You guys like that bull flag? That looks real good. What about this bull flag? If we were to look at a bull flag that was like this, would you guys like to trade a bull flag that looked like this? And most people will say, no, we want the one on the right. Okay, in terms of the one on the right, what would this present to us? Okay, the one on the right would present. And essentially, there are reasons. Let me go through this real quickly as we look at price, and it is capitulating beyond. Not that that's a death knell, not that that's a over and out sayonara, but yes, we are breaching that line of support along this specific. This is London with Bitcoin Spike, by the way. Appreciate having you guys here tonight. Shout out to our VIP, our top level of membership. Shout out to No Torque, who actually closed along the top line of resistance after that video that I brought him. Bam! I brought all of you guys. If you're not subscribed, please hit the like button, etc. Appreciate that, guys. Former financial professional, Duke University, Harvard Business School, certified in markets and not financial advice. You guys got that. In terms of this line of resistance, that pull up, Torque, you're looking like a hero right now. Congratulations, brother. Huge move in terms of that. That move. Torque is a member here at the channel, and just congratulations to anyone who wants to join. Hey, we would love to join you to join or to have you back. If you're a preceding member, we'd love to have you back, guys. It's a great group this year, stronger than ever. We would love to have you back. In terms of that level carry up there, what we're going through right now is the potential for a confirmation across this specific prior level of resistance to support. Right now on the candle wicks thus far, we're going to have a little bit of a threshold. We're going to have a little bit of I'd say a tolerance for the breach of this line on the candle wicks, okay? As we go to the specific lines, you may be picking up on a specific line right now, which is in violation of a specific candle wick, the maximization of the price action. So always keep that framed well within your mind, that we, along this line of prior resistance, that we may be maintaining or attempting. And as I go into the 4 hourly, this becomes very, very, very relevant to that what we've been discussing. You guys see this in terms of the specific nature of the 4 hourly, and the variation here is just dynamic in terms of the different time frames, in terms of I'd say consistent signals, but increasing complications amongst the time frames. You guys know that just a lot of specific complications. As we would look at this specific 4 hourly, which is a very one of the premier time frames to use with BTC if you guys trade BTC. We also trade alts, just so you guys know. We can focus on some of those in a bit if you guys would like, but we'd like to trade BTC. Shout out to Angel, #1 contributor, $58,000. Invested in Bitcoin is $7. My man, what's going on, brother? I'm letting my phone charge. I'll be right in that. What are we doing here? Where is the alert banner? Where are we? Where is the framework here? Where is the chat? Where is it? Hold on one second. Hey, we may need to go to, well, what just happened? I don't know. That's good that you caught that. 2 seconds. What's going on with the background camera image? Let me go with the window capture. I don't even know where the window capture went. It just completely short. Oh, that's just unbelievable. That's never happened before. I have to add this back in. This has never happened in the history of my channel, that the actual, it's gone blank before, but not for this reason. Media source, I have to go through the entirety of this and redo this. Window capture, let me do this, guys. Very interesting. The entirety of the window just completely blew up. I have no idea why. Let me see if I can get back on firing with all cylinders here. There we go. Unbelievable. That has never happened in the history of this channel. It literally just deleted it out of the entire sequence of the technology that I'm using. Very interesting. I apologize for that. Without a doubt, guys. Without a doubt, I can explain things, but you guys have to see them. Okay, important. We're going over the 4 hourly. Let me see if I can trim this up. That's never happened. For some reason, the computer just short-circuited. I plugged in my cell phone. I apologize for that. I was trying to get to the chats. I apologize. I plugged in my cell phone and it short-circuited the entirety of the screen. I apologize. That is not cool. Is it going to do it again? No, it shouldn't do it again. Gee whiz. I'm very sorry. I may need to unplug my cell phone. Sorry. Uncool. Very sorry. Sorry about that. We're going through the need to respect the specific lines. I was trying to get back in the chats, guys. I apologize about that. I just short-circuited out the for some reason the phone didn't like the framework of the Streamlabs. Just didn't like it. But I'm talking about this specific critical zone right here. You guys pay attention. Very crucial. Line of resistance, right? A line of resistance on the actual framework of the lines versus the candle wicks. Crucial attempt to reconfirm up and over. And thank you guys for, I guess, letting me know in the chats. I guess I can check the chats now. But here we go. There we go. Yeah, okay. Man, okay. Screen disappeared when your phone died. Yeah, that's my fault. That's just my fault. I'm back. I'll just say that. For some reason, we had a little bit of an issue there with the technicals. That's odd, but we have them, which is crucial. Maybe someone was here who wasn't supposed to be here and they left. Who knows? Maybe it happened for a reason. Who knows, guys? In terms of that level of resistance, bam. Okay, we're looking to reconfirm that. However, that is too severe of a confirmation move. It just is. To the extent it could still play, of course it could still play. I'm not going to state that it cannot play. However, it's beyond the expectations of the normalized framework of asymmetrical triangulation. Confirmation. It just is. And as we would throw in the complication of the dynamic, let me go ahead and add in this fib wedge here. I just want to say interaction is uplifting. How cool. How cool. I just got, my phone is up enough to read that. I haven't flipped through what you guys have been saying. Look at you guys. You've been saying all kinds of stuff. I've missed a ton of stuff. I'm sorry. In terms of my phone, it's just getting charged back up, but it took away the charge for a minute. Maybe if I had to pick one or the other, I guess I'd pick the charts right now to get through this emergency kind of situation, guys. In terms of the emergency, if you're just tuning in, I want to say that, yes, this identified level of resistance across the top. We had identified that specific level. We went through it for days, guys, in terms of that level of resistance, the complication. I even let you guys know from that level of support across the bottom, right? The support to the resistance line across the top. I did let you guys know as well. I even brought up the notion, just so you know, the notion of a conditional trade, if you guys will remember that. And I rarely bring up issues like that. Maybe you would want to get into a conditional trade when you got up and over, and recall this real quickly, guys. And Angel, so glad you guys are having fun in the chats. Yeah, Pathfinder's cool. Slimmer's cool. Like, I don't know where Luke is. Luke, where you at, brother? Where you at? Craig, where you at? AJ Crypto, where you at, brother? Let's see you chat, guys. Where you at? I don't know where you guys are at. I'm glad, Angel, that it's uplifting. You guys are having a good time. Let me put this here in the chats for you. I'm almost back. I've got about 3% of the phone. I think if I chat, it's gonna drain the battery right now, but it's gonna be close. It'll be up in a minute here. In terms of this level of support to resistance, understand that was another feature that we were heading into, up and above that specific bull flag, right? So when you guys were paying attention to the complications in the trade, when you were outlining this additional move to the upside, it was not without complications. That move to the upside would have required 3 specific lines of resistance to be broken. And we're not the only ones to notice this. You guys know that. We are not the only ones to notice this. Getting into the 30-minute, I just guarantee you the pro traders on the desk, etc., guys, they're looking at this stuff. I mean, we're top shelf TA here. I want to let you guys know that. And I'm not comparing myself to the pro. We're not doing that. But we got more talent in this room than those pros can shake a stick at, right? I'm just going to tell you guys that. In terms of this line of resistance here, resistance level 1, right? In terms of this line of resistance here, okay, this resistance line here, resistance level 2. Okay, so resistance level 1 across the top of the bull flag. bam, needing to get up over resistance level 1 of the bull flag. Okay, that's resistance level 1. Resistance level 2 with the candle wicks. Resistance level 3 with the cross trend line. Support to resistance cross trend line. All to accomplish a bull flag. Wow. Okay, that's a lot, guys. If you trade a lot of bull flags, that's not very accommodating to the traders. I even brought up the notion, and I did. You guys know this. I even brought up the notion that maybe you want to engage. Maybe you would have liked to engage in a conditional trade, a trigger trade, if the price of Bitcoin were to reach 48,724 or any part above that top trend line, that top line of, I say the cross trend line, above the other 2 lines of resistance. And I'll count this as a line of resistance for the record, because we would expect the support to resistance and the resistance feature to kick in, right? So that 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I brought up the issue of potentially using a trigger trade, right? Potentially using a conditional trade to enter if indeed we were to get up and above those specified levels. Very important, right? I'm not one to typically speak of a conditional trade or a trigger trade. It's not forced. Let's say first and foremost that we would always consider that, right? It's an advanced technique. It's almost a tactic on the market, right? You have to, but that goes to show you the level at which we looked at this, and that the market was looking at this, and those levels of resistance above. Not just the bull flag, it was this level of resistance, the cross trend line of resistance. There was a lot going on, guys. So anytime you hear us talk about a conditional trade, something like that, if you can get up and above, right? Just be aware of that. It's really crucial. And I do see that Luke is in the house. What's up, Luke? Luke, to let you know, Angel is in the house. He's chatting, I think, with Pathfinder and Slim. I'm trying to let my phone recharge a bit. I think I've got. It's making some progress. I'm going to be okay. But I short-circuited the entirety of the screen when I plugged in my phone. It wasn't good. It was a bad deal. So I've learned that we have my phone is robbed the technicals. Maybe my phone will work better now. Who knows? In terms of the fib wedge, we're going to talk about the expectations of this breakout being premature. Right, and we have just the differentiated this specific. This gets a little difficult, okay, on the actual, and I'm gonna say complicated. Nothing's difficult. Luke, shout out to you, brother. Appreciate. And Luke, I shared your pup picture with Angel, just so you know. I gave him the Pomeranian, so you guys know Luke has a real cool dog. Great photos with the family, etc. Line of resistance. It's a little bit high to expect in terms of this specific bull, let's say this bullish feature. It turned into a bullish feature, the coil reversal, right? The symmetrical triangulation, they also call this a coil. As we would look at this feature on the candle wicks, all right, you'll see that top line resistance, right? That would be the expectation of the confirmation. Were we to need one this high? We don't need one this high, guys. It's just beyond the expectations of the market. To the extent that means, like, is the run dead? Is everything over? Is it gone? Let's dig into that question, because right now we're approaching the 4-hourly lines, whereas we have capitulated beyond on the specified candle wicks. Very important. On the lower time frames, we're below the threshold. We're below that level of resistance to support. So the confirmation, yes, is dead on the lower time frames. Period. Now, additional pattern framework, we're going to be looking for that. We're going to be watching for the patterns. You guys know, buy at support, sell at resistance, trade your patterns, and hit your targets, right? So as we look at that, targets where, bam, right? Beat the market, man. Bam. Just schedule in your targets and along with us. We're doing it live half the time and sharing it with our VIP all the time. You guys know that. Any targets you guys need, you let us know. Macro, micro, etc. In terms of this specific feature now, we're still within threshold on the 4-hourly to pick up this level of resistance to support. Again, beyond the expectations, right? It's beyond the expectations in terms of a confirmation move. Right, that's a bit much in terms of a confirmation move. It's just it is kind of there and beyond, guys. We will go ahead and say that. Drawing the 4-hourly, drawing the 4-hourly. I need to get a glass of water here in a second. Beyond the 4-hourly, let's go to the 1-hourly and see how this line is interacting thus far. Okay, as we were to get into this 1-hourly time frame here, it looks a little bit more generous, doesn't it? It looks a little bit more acceptable on the 1-hourly. If we were to define at least, and this is the question right now, are we looking for a confirmation, or are we looking for a line of resistance to support to hold? All right, and I'm saying for a trade, this is the biggest question for the market right now. If you trade a lot, you know exactly what I'm saying. Are we looking for a confirmation to move boom to the upside, or are we looking for a trade? Right, I mean, I'm talking about trade in here. You guys know the expectation, the impact of this threshold. And Angel, you let me know what you think about this. And I see Slim and Angel. I will get back to the I'll get back to your interaction, but it looks like, Angel, you're having fun back there. You keep having fun. Luke's in the house now. In terms of this specific level of resistance, expecting this to operate as a level of confirmation. Okay, you're at the point right now that you have already capitulated beyond the level of resistance on the candle wicks. That's the lowest time frames. Okay, now what does that mean? Okay, if this is not a standard confirmation, okay, and if on the lower time frames we're already down and below, either we can play for a surprise, we can play for a fake out, right? We can go ahead and say, okay, well, yeah, the lower time frames are going to be inaccurate right now. We're going to go ahead and charge in on the hourly or the 4 hourly. All right. Now we could do that, but the question is this. This is the biggest question right now in the market, and I'll just tell you guys, this is the biggest question dealing with the trend of Bitcoin. Is given the fact that this is not a standard feature play along a prior resistance. It's over and above what we would expect with any symmetrical triangulation. The confirmation is too high. It's already up and out. We had a micro confirmation here on every time frame. We had a micro confirmation. Boom, we were up and out. So to the extent that this, and this is the question, to the extent that this is operating as a confirmation, to the extent that, let's say that fails to satisfy the requirements for, the normalized, let's say, framework for a confirmation because it's too much of a move and a capitulation back down, then what type of trade are people anticipating at this level? Is it a confirmation move? No, it's not a confirmation move. That's not the expectation right now of the market. Now, it could within the framework, I'll speak in terms of probabilities, but you understand, if this is not a confirmation move, what is it? Now, as you look at this, okay, this is the trouble. Okay, I'm just going to tell you the trouble right now. Could it be a surprise? We love when Bitcoin surprises. Absolutely. Let's go into the hourly real quickly. If it's not a confirmation move, what is it? It's an opportunity for a trade, certainly. As we look at this, we've already hit down into this zone beyond the candle wicks here. Okay, opportunity for a pickup, yes. But I'm going to tell you what it doesn't seem like right now. I'm going to tell you guys, from the standpoint of a trader, I trade a lot, guys. In terms of a monster pickup, and I'll say there's one angle we could look at, okay? But in terms of, like, you know, a heavy pickup, slamming into the lower target levels, bam, bam. Compounded down entries, heavy cash available, the 50%, which has already played heavy, bam, 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 in this preceding retracement, hitting into this 50% again, bam, bam. Heavy trades, right? Heavy expectations of even a breakout. I can say of a breakout of this symmetrical triangulation that we're into. Heavy cash going into the market based on the technicals. So we're not looking at that as a confirmation. So what are we looking at it as? What are you guys looking at it as? A potential for a pickup with, I'm going to say this, because it's not a standardized confirmation, I'm going to tell you guys, me personally, great. Let's pepper into this. Let's let this rock and roll a little bit. Let's hit this level, and then I got my targets down here below, right? And now that's the standard framework of VIP. That's our station. In terms of that's how we approach things. I'm going to say all the time, always prepared to double and triple down at lower levels. Always prepared to cover an upside position. Without a doubt. Now, is it a surrender and run routine? Guys, the guys, I'm going to tell you this. No Torque is leader of the pack tonight here. Base camper with us, one of our levels of membership. In terms of that, No Torque, he sold out days ago. Bam. In terms of when I brought that this specific level of resistance, he sold out. Bam. He's beating the market. To the extent that he chooses to get back involved in the market, beautiful. If you guys want to participate at this level of prior resistance to support, understand the complication, and the level of complication the entirety of the market is looking at right now. That on the lower time frames, you've already submitted. You've already said, nope, we're not holding this resistance. Okay, now they don't have to hold. Okay, in terms of this, this doesn't have to be the key threshold line, the lower time frames exhibited by the candle wicks. That doesn't have to be dispositive. We are picking up on some potential interaction here with these moving averages. You know, for instance, let me go ahead and take the colors off of this. The specific, as we would look at this, as we would look at these particular, and they have operated quite well in the past, guys. They've operated quite well. This level of support, right? Up and over the 200 moving average, back down to the 200. Nice support feature. So back onto the 100, right? I just tell you, wherever this decides to ultimately go, and it's not that, oh, you don't know. For the guys who want to know if it's going to go up or go down, Yeah, you guys, that's the other station, guys, in terms of, you follow the leader and the leader gets burned. That's not what we want. We want you to have a good experience in crypto, period. In 2022, we want you to have a good, healthy experience in crypto. We want you to book trades. That's it. Never be overexposed at a higher price. Right? Always be comfortable with covering your position at a lower threshold, okay, at a lower target level. We have the lowest target price here, guys. In the market, we have the lowest target price here. Bam. Period. You find another one. You guys tell me. Lowest target price in the market here on the 4-hourly pivot. Bam, that's us. Below the below the 50% retracement. So as I look at this, what I'm going to tell you now is very well exemplified by and this will do a great job of explaining the technicals, exactly the framework of the market in terms of the ideology or the psychology that's currently playing in the market. Let's deduce this to the following. Yes, we have a potential for a pickup at this level, period. Very easily we have a potential for a pickup to this level. What is the potential for the pickup at this level? Bam. Instead of the 100, the 200. It's significant. You guys know that. If it decides not to pick up at the 200, well, then everyone who just decided to rush in at the 100, they made the trade of the day, period. Now, I'll tell you just the framework of the moving averages on the map right here below that level of resistance. There are orders waiting right here. I will tell you that. You guys know that. That's not even in question. That specific level of resistance, yes, and to support has played previously. It's a critical level, the 200 moving average. You guys know that. You can get the indicator trend is your friend. That puts it within a very good dynamic for you to be able to assess your current level of exposure. Understanding that, yes, this is the framework of a pickup herein within the dynamic of having already submitted or capitulated beyond this level of resistance on the candle wicks, which is the lower time frames. Okay, I'm going to say the 30-minute. Let's go to the 30-minute real quickly. See if we can clarify this a little bit. On the 30-minute, okay, you don't get all the way there. We're going to need to go to the 5-minute or the 1-minute to literally see the actual line on these levels. But the candle wick is the price line on the lower levels. So on the 30-minute, let's go into this, and let's draw this down here. On the 30-minute down into this level, a little bit below the line that we just drew out on the on the 4-hourly. So we have multiple time frames that are digging down even in towards this specific 200 moving average. There's another complication. You guys just saw on the 30-minute. The 30-minute is actually leading you below the 100, down closer to the 200. So be prepared to operate at the lower levels. If you have exposure to BTC and you're long right now, be prepared to cover your long position. That's just it. If you booked at the top, like No Torque did, I remember with our group here. If you booked at the top, congratulations, No Torque, big time. We've never had a specific. Always say this. We've never had a champ be a base camper. I think we're going to require him to upgrade. I'm going to say good evening. I think my phone is charged enough. I hope you guys are doing well. Good evening. I'm going to say Luke, and I'm going to put Angel. My phone is back. Sorry about the charts. There we go. My phone is back. Sorry for phone taking the charts. It's never done that. Interesting. The charts. But, yeah, we're back. And sorry I missed out. And I'm glad that we're back here just a moment. You guys let me know. In terms of the framework here, I'd like to take a sip of water, and you let me know what you'd like to discuss next. Let me know what you'd like to discuss. All right. Had to get some water. Had to replenish just a bit. Lot of technicals. Emergency situation, 2.46% down. Capitulating from the bull flag. Back beyond. Let's go into this detail. We haven't covered this yet. For those of you who are here, very important detail. This line of support in terms of the resistance and the support along the feature here. That specific level of, I'd say this channel framework, the throw over, the capitulation below the level of support, that conforms to technical expectations. I think you guys will agree. Angel, hopefully I didn't lose you there. Let me go ahead and shout you out to a text and let you know that I lost the screen. Angel, just to let you know, brother, I lost the screen when I plugged my phone in. I'm back in the chats on the channel. Sorry about the interruption technically. There we go. I want to let him know that he just got a cell phone message. So in terms of the framework here, The hourly is about as close as we can get, it looks like, in terms of the pickup right here. You see we have, this is part of the reason why, I think we can say this part of the reason why BTC seems like it enjoys being volatile. It's picking up all these orders at the different levels. When it flashes down or flashes up, a lot of times it's picking up orders, right? You guys know that. I mean, right now we could draw out 3, 4, 5 different lines on every different time frame. The 4 hourly is a strong time frame. Sometimes it will keep you in a trade a little bit longer, but just be prepared for the fact that it can dig deeply and it can rebound. Okay, it's going to set every 4 hours. Hourly is a little bit more within the framework of, let's just say within the framework of like a resistance to support. We'd like to see that like definitely on the hourly, with the understanding once again that the lower time frames have capitulated thus far. They have capitulated beyond this level of resistance to support required for that confirmation. Not what we wanted to see, guys. This is not what we technically wanted to see. Buyers have been in control. You guys know we went over that RSI, etc. Buyers had gained momentum. Like, wow, you know, it's not what we wanted to see. However, we did expect some interaction on the specified. Let's go to this specific chart here real quickly. And you guys, this just looks like fire. You guys know that. It's like a fiery chart. These are all levels of the RSI, up and above. Overbought from the white to yellow to the red, right? From the white to yellow to the red, oversold, right? Buyers stepping in, oversold. They have the momentum continuing to sell, bam, right? I challenged you guys to look on the lower time frames and do this experiment. Look at when you achieve oversold status. Is it a reversal or is it a continuation? I encourage you guys to look at booking trades using it as a continuation. Just do the back testing on it and see if you get more success with using it as a continuation, a momentum continuation indicator, than a sheer reversal indicator. Were this to operate as a reversal indicator now, i.e. buyers had momentum, drove up to overbought, and we had an immediate reversal, that would be rare. And guys, I'll just tell you, it would be rare enough because imagine if you could use your RSI every time, just think of this, or even the majority of the time, to go ahead and just enter and you're going to make money. It's going to be a reversal every time. Guys, the market would be just very easy. It's not that easy. You guys know that. It's not that easy. So looking at on the daily, we started off the stream letting you know, that I would really like to hold this line, right? This daily line will be in flux for a while. Want to shout out to all the VIP. Want to shout out to Angel. We appreciate having you here tonight in the stream. Luke, appreciate having you here. Slim, appreciate having you here. All you guys, appreciate you guys. You're cool guys. Nice take, no torque. Yeah, no torque, just nailed it. Worth checking, USDT.D as well. Slim, how's it going, man? What's up? Yo. Good chats. I want to read back through. If Angel's here, I'd love to recover anything he had to say. But it looks like you guys are having fun chatting. What's up? That's nice. That's what it's all about. We have a great group, guys. You're all committed to TA. What is up? That is just cool stuff, huh? To have a group that's really committed to the top level TA, to bettering themselves in their trade game. Honestly, guys, I'm a VIP. Do you guys know that? I literally am a paying member of the VIP because I want to be. That's it. I want to be in a cool trade group where people handle themselves adequately in terms of the technicals, right? You know, I don't care what you did last summer. I want to be in a good trade group. That's the bottom line, okay? That's just the truth, right? So we're excited about that. I'm going to leave that fire on the screen here in terms of that, or those RSI levels. You guys know that framework quite well. As we look into the 4 hourly, for instance, look at the continuation. We got into the overbought. You guys see this? Just teetering into the overbought territory. Look at the 4 hourly. What a great example of what I was trying to say, guys. On the 4 hourly, look at this. Hitting into the 4 hourly. Bam, bam. Now some interaction. You see this. Interaction, fallback. Bam. Hitting into the overbought. Interaction. Here we go. Bam. Hitting into the overbought and continuing to overbuy. Buyers in control, pushing with momentum. The momentum indicator, the RSI. Isn't that a beautiful demonstration of momentum? Right? Hitting a little bit of interaction, pullback, continuing to hit in. Buyers continue to buy, right? Same with the sellers. Sellers hit down into oversold. Bam, they continue. It's not a reversal pattern, right? It's a momentum indicator, continuing to sell, right? Here, buyers hit into oversold. Boom, continuing to sell, right? Even here, guys, buyers hit oversold, continuing to sell, right? So to the extent that on the daily we would now see this as a reversal pattern, just it's a reversal hit into that RSI, it would break the mold. I'm going to tell you guys, it would break the mold, not what we want to see occur. Now, This is interesting. You guys take a look at this, please. You guys realize this? As we look at the framework of these preceding lines, this particular line of resistance to support, as we would look at this, okay, this is very important. I realized this earlier with the VIP. I didn't on the stream yet. I needed to go to the candles, and I need to do this right now to kind of correct the preceding notion that we could just flip up and around, and we still can on this, but it may be complicated a bit. Look at this level of resistance on the actual candle wicks, okay? Look at the specific line here, bam, that top level threshold. Look at the candle that has, it's close, guys. It is close within the threshold. And have we set that below? It's almost along that dividing line. But you see the recoup work, which will be required to get us back up and above that line. I guess the good part is this, that we have set, or we have initiated up and above the line of prior resistance to where it could formulate as a support. Still, it could still formulate as a support. So I want to let you guys know that as we talk about the probabilities, as we would talk about, let me get rid of some of these flags in terms of this price action. As we would discuss the momentum indicator, overbought continuing to buy, right? Overbought continuing to buy, right? Oversold continuing to sell, right? Overbought, will we see continuation to buy? That's going to be the framework. And guys, it's not just this. I have not just back tested this by 180 days and I'm bringing this to you. Absolutely not. You guys know better than that. It's a very well studied dynamic of RSI, just so that you know, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So in terms of the expectation of this confirmation, again, a little bit difficult. What was that Path who just said USDT.D? Copy that, brother. Let's check out USDT.D. USDT.D. Let me actually go back to BTC on this, BTC USDT. Let's go back on this framework to USDT.D. Would really like to cover the framework of the Ethereum chart. It's a dynamic chart. If you want to see how people can be frustrated about only getting 75% of a trade, or 75, it's funny, 75% of the trade, maybe about half of the trade they thought they were entitled to, but only getting a return of 75%. I'll show you an exact example of that. As we would look at this framework, very, very interesting on USDT.D. Please pay attention to this, guys. Please pay attention to the framework of, this is Tether, all right, dominance. And Pathfinder loves this chart. You guys know this. I love this chart too. This is on the monthly. This is a beautiful chart. You guys know this. Path, let's go ahead and line this out to the preceding zones here. Let's snap these to grid so there is zero confusion about this top line resistance, without a doubt, right? Let's draw that as aggressively as need be. There may be some variability. Extend right line. There we go. Now, this was the King Kong feature on the monthly Tether dominance, the dominance of Tether in the market, okay? To the extent that Tether, I spoke about the inverse correlation, right? USDT, Tether dominance going down, right? And crypto prices going up. We covered that, right? Crypto prices going up, Tether dominance going down. Inverse correlation, right? Boom, inverse correlation. We covered that. This always looks best on a big screen TV. Just to let you guys know, this looks best on a big screen TV. You're missing your technicals if it's not on a big screen TV. Find that Bluetooth, find whatever it is, and get it done, guys. In terms of the framework, the symmetrical triangulation here, and very interesting, BTC is in there. A lot of things are in right now, a symmetrical triangulation. This is on the monthly, okay, the monthly chart. Looking at this, this was a sweet symmetrical triangulation, okay? We just set below, okay, literally, we just set below, okay, this specific line here, okay, and we were looking for this to hold as a prior resistance to support, and guys, the implications that Tether dominance would be going up to this extent would mean, it would have some potential massive implications for the market, guys. Some massive implications, because as Tether dominance were to go up, crypto prices would be going down, right? Inverse relationship, okay? So to the extent that we have capitulated beyond this prior level of resistance and that we're below that threshold, I just want this to play out securely on the technicals on the monthly. That's what I want to say. I want to see good pattern conformance on the monthly with this, because we are back below that level of resistance. That is a bullish indication technically for the markets. Okay, to the extent that there's some other pattern in play that would want to come into the foray here, I leave that open. Okay, I'm not going to just dismiss it and say it's absolutely bullish. To the extent that we would formulate something else, and that this line here would be dismissed along with this pattern, it would be out of the ordinary. It might be that 1 or 2 out of 10 situations where where we're just seeing an anomaly. The pattern framework is so conformant to the ideals of technical analysis that it would just be it would be an anomaly. So that could occur. Some additional patterning could occur. We could continue to frustrate and just push, kind of an odd fan. I'd say we could have an odd, and you guys see this sometimes we may have even something like this. Believe it or not, we may encounter something. You guys know. Something along the lines of something like that. We may see this. Who knows what we may see in terms of kind of an anomaly. But with this well-structured of a symmetrical triangulation, that's a big deal, guys, on the monthly chart with the tether. So I want to let you guys know that fact. Let me rewind, put the RSI back on the screen. So it's bullish that we failed. It's bullish for crypto that tether failed that triangulation confirmation. And what are we doing on the time frame with? And that great example. Let's go back through this real quickly. Great example, Pathfinder, in terms of what the standard expectations are. The standard expectations are in terms of a confirmation. Let's look back through this on the monthly. Let's check this out. Okay, on the monthly, let's look at this. Now, this is a nice confirmation. You guys see within the structured framework of the symmetrical triangulation, just a small up and over. Not a real ratchet up to the top of what would be, and you guys will appreciate the application to the current chart on Bitcoin. Right? Now, the current chart on Bitcoin has literally done this to where we have confirmed up and above to this level, essentially like up into this level. Okay, I'd say in a medium framework here, okay, up into this level here, and we're looking at confirming now. Now, you see a standard confirmation here, just slightly up and over, right? This preceding high. There we go, with a nice framework. Now, we would want the prior resistance to formulate the support and bam, move to the upside. That would be the anticipation. But this is a great example of that amplitude that we would have the expectation of seeing on a confirmation up and above a symmetrical triangulation. Just very, very timely that we would see that. Let's dig back into the charts, and let's let that reflect on, let's say, the 4 hourly. It's as you look at the 4 hourly, like just really clear as day, isn't it? Look at the 4 hourly in terms of the symmetrical triangulation. Look at how high that specific on BTC, how high this specific potential confirmation is. It's up. It's up, guys, right? Now, it is also up on the candle wicks. This is the complication. When I talk about the complication, it's all the way up on the actual, there we go, on the candle wicks to the actual threshold, lifting of the support to the potential resistance target. So this is not a standard confirmation. If you're looking for a standard confirmation, this is not it. It's just not. So I trust that you guys see that. And we could look at on the daily, let's say, lower time frames given, let's see, the ideal bullish framework that bulls would love to still see. Let's put this in here real quickly. Let's just imagine that we had kind of a flat top here and an ascending triangle there. Since we've seen so many of them, we have to explore this. You guys know I kind of go back to this when the charts are over and everything else. I want to talk about the ascending triangle potential. We don't have it necessarily. We have this rounding feature, right? This arc feature here. We want a completely flat top for an ascending triangle. To the extent that this can hold on the daily, right? We're interested. Okay, it's up and over. It's still too high of a confirmation. You guys understand that? Still too high of a confirmation. The save feature here is the 200 moving average. Trend is your friend, etc. Guys, in terms of this rehit, that's the indicator that it comes from. Just so you know, you can get a great look at the 200 and the 100. But this specific reconfirmation across this line again was contemplated. Okay, was contemplated by this specific move preceding here, and the fact that on preceding moves that 100 or the 200 becomes support, right? It becomes support at some point. That's exactly what we want to designate the uptrend with is adherence to using these moving averages as a level of support, right? 200 weekly, if you guys deal a lot with equities, etc., the 200 weekly is a famous level to be looked at, right? That 200 weekly moving average, people designate uptrend or downtrend depending upon whether or not the 200 weekly is above or below, period, right? But you don't want to wait to get up above. You want to hit your targets below. That's the biggest criticism of a moving average I'd say a moving average entry is that you don't want to lose all of this time below. You don't want to lose all of this value below the moving average. You want to enter and you want to capture that, in this case, 25 to 35% of a gain that you could have if you decide to hit your target. So we are always very, very aware of that. If you guys want to shout out in the chats, let me know what you're doing. We've covered a lot of technicals. If you've just shown up, hit the like button. Let me know that you're here. I can cover some framework in terms of the emergency situation. Yes, we failed that top level bull flag. You guys know that by now. But the hold factor, right, in terms of this specific holding this line of resistance, prior resistance here, we've capitulated underneath this prior resistance. We wanted to hold that. We're currently along that 200. I would tell you there are orders at the 200. There are also orders at the 100 below, okay, on the daily, without a doubt, guys. It's not even question. The 200 we covered in terms of the specific pickup. Also, that the 100 would be above. The 100 is in orange. That 200 below we discuss as being a key feature and pickup potential as well on the 4 hourly. The daily to hold would be beautiful to the extent that we can use this 100 and continue up and out to use that as a level of support. We really haven't contacted that 100 on the 4 hourly in a while. We just haven't. So to the extent that could play, that would be great. Let's look at the lower time frames real quickly and kind of see the level of interaction going along that going along this level on the 5 minute. Looks like we're picking up slightly prior levels of support, right? Just almost perfectly with that prior level of support. Let's go ahead and draw in a little bit of a framework here that we can assess what's going on in terms of the calculatives. We could draw in the Fibonacci's as well if you guys prefer to do that. Looking at a previous lateral support, no problem. A lot of price interaction at this level. It makes you definitely want to do the following, right? As I would talk about, and I did speak of this earlier, as you would want to do this, absolutely without a doubt, this specific hit right here in this zone makes all the traders want to do this. Flat top resistance, and this group has traded so many ascending triangles. You guys have no idea. Along with you guys, you've been trading these ascending triangles in the BTC market. They've been phenomenal in terms of their expression in the market. They've been really something to go after. They've been consistent. They've been they've had a lot of characteristics to them, which have been very I'd say very profitable. In terms of, for those of you who have really spent time with the ascending triangles, what are their nuances? What are the characteristics that can really produce some profit for you guys? So now that my phone is back up and fully working, yo, Luke in the house. I want to definitely apologize to anybody who was here earlier. I know that let's see, Angel definitely was here earlier chatting with, and you guys were busy chatting. I didn't get to see exactly what all Angel had written here. I hope that he's here. And, yeah, I hope you're doing well, Angel. Definitely want you always to feel welcome, without a doubt. And much love to you, brother. My phone just I had plugged it in, and you heard it. It took away the screens. That was so cool. Sorry about that. I just like what you had to say. Believe in yourself first. Believe in what you're doing. Very good. Then execute and don't make any excuses. Boom. VIPs, he says. You are being armed with all the weapons needed to successfully trade. It's up to every one of you to use your knowledge provided to win. There we go. And he's congratulating. I just love that. Thank you so much. I may snapshot some of these and put them in the back room for the VIPs. Very good. Thank you so much, Angel. And for those who don't know, Angel invested in, you are being weaponized with all the tools to win. Absolutely. In terms of TA, and guys, Angel is killing the market. He's doing great. He's using the same weaponry, the same componentry TA that you have. So, I'm going to tell you guys, he's doing great in the market. I know a lot of you guys are as well. It's just nice to have a group that is balanced, is focused on targeting on lower levels. Like, I don't meet people. Everyone knows buy low, sell high. Like, no, buy the low. Like, they'll tell me, well, like London says, buy low, sell high. I mean, no, that's not me. I'm like, I want to buy the low. I don't want to buy low and sell high. I want to buy the low, and I want to sell the high, right? Period. And whether or not that's possible, people, well, I don't know if that's really possible. Can you really get into that? I mean, think about it, guys. No Torque, great example. Recent video that I set out, and No Torque, one of our members, literally, he sold out, bam, right at the top here, no problem, boom. He's looking for a re-entry right now. We have members who have acquired at our acquisition targets lower, guys, lower in the process, not jumping onto the bandwagon once things get exciting. This is danger zone, particularly if you're working with leverage, guys. Don't want you guys to get wrecked. Don't want you to have problems in terms of of the market moving against you, and it just inevitably tends to, doesn't it, when you don't hit those targets on the lower level. So congrats to anybody in the VIP, etc., who has hit those lower targets. Congratulations to Angel. He's trading very well. Top Shelf VIP, brother, love you. And AJ Crypto, number one VIP. He's been in the group longer than anybody else. I got to say, AJ, ton of respect for your entry into BTC recently. Just huge respect. As we look at this flat top resistance on the 77-minute, I'm going to go to the 77-minute. I'm going to hold it because the levels of variability across the way here. I'm going to hold this specific line here on the 77-minute. It's one of my preferred time frames, along with the 86 on the Fibonacci retracements, right? And as we look, yeah, absolutely, Pathfinder hit the low in the market. Not low. He didn't buy Doge low. He hit the low in the market recently. Pathfinder huge on that 86 retracement. So as I look at the 77, I just like the I like what it provides us in terms of the. We need to look at one more component here. This is a different component that we need to check out on this channel formation. The amplitude potential for the amplitude move of this specific channel to the downside. We will look at that in 1 second. The interrupter right now would be on the 77-minute. I can go to the hourly essentially and allow for some variability. This specific pick up feature here, along with the potential for any other additional lower target pickup. These are the prior resistance to support features that are currently in play in the market. And the question is going to be, to the extent that the momentum has shifted, that is the key concern for the market. You guys all know that. I'm going to go to the MACD. All right, go on the daily on the MACD. I'm going to tell you, I do not want to see what we saw happen yesterday. That was not in the game plan. It's not my preference as we looked at, guys, as we looked at the downward price action, etc. I didn't want to see the rollover in MACD. I don't want to see it turn negative. You guys see the rollover. This is the rollover right in here, okay? The move to the upside, right? This short event here, but we want big blue, beautiful waves. You guys know that. Real easy in terms of nice price action, bam, up and over. Nice price action, bam, up and over. We can have a bit of a stutter step in here. It's not unheard of for us to misstep amongst this wave formation, okay? To the extent that is, I'm going to say, to the extent that is predictable, to the extent that we can zero in on the ability of MACD to be of utility to us in the context of this being a brief interruption and us continuing to maintain the blue, I say a nice blue trajectory in terms of the momentum of the price action, right? It's going to depend upon one thing. Can we hold this moving average, period? Can we hold this moving average, use it as support to the upside? That's going to be the ball game, guys. Can we hold the current moving average as a level of support to move it to the upside? You guys know step one was conquering the moving averages, the 200 and the 100, getting up and above these. Trend is your friend. That's the indicator. Take off all the other indications. It's a great tool as you look at the lower time frames. For instance, you'll see on the hourly, just look at that orange line, just beautifully walking that up. On the candle wicks, it's actually even better. Just a lot of direct interaction along that specified line, okay? So in terms of this, the indicator and the moving averages, we're very familiar with them. We use them quite a bit. I encourage you guys to up your game in 2022. Joining VIP, it's a great place to be. We have a lot of interaction. As Angel said, one comment that I did pick up on earlier on. What did you say, Angel? Let's see. There we go. This is interesting. Angel was saying earlier on, VIPs, please listen. And I mean, really listen. We're not reinventing the market. Just a reminder, Fibonacci's have been around since the 13th century. This is not an accident or a mistake. He is correct. The Fibonacci's have been around since the 13th century, guys. This is some crucial stuff. And Angel, I feel like you need a microphone with me, brother, without a doubt. And I know you know that, but it'd be nice if you had a microphone with me, especially when my screen goes out and I can't chat. I'm sorry about that. In terms of this move to the upside, battery was just low. Okay, we see the confirmation along this level of support being these moving averages. So we also see that the stutter step in here, that we achieved a nice wave formation with continuing positive action based upon the moving averages instead of solely the MACD. So that is the cover. As you would look at the MACD being a strong signal, your catch here would be your moving average, okay? And some participants, I'll let you guys know, as we were feeding through the top of this, I let you guys know it was a nice day for VIP, for all the subscribers, everybody, Basecamp included. When I let you guys know, I let out a video and I said, hey, we're up and over this crucial specific moving average. You guys know I let that video out to you guys. For the ones that listen, you guys got in. If you got in, and bam, we had some nice acceleration that day. Nice move that day, being up and over this specific 200 moving average on the trend is your friend indicator. And I'll just say that, guys, that the standard person, standard retail trader is not going to know what's going on. Institutionally, they're going to look at these levels and say, yeah, that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and have some entries. Now, in line with that hit on the RSI, let's look at this on the RSI. We did have BTC slam into overbought territory. Precedingly, when we've done that, not just these specific preceding moves in 2021, no, but on the whole, when you look at price action, that's a momentum indicator. That's the RSI in the white, yellow, and red. Okay, it has a tendency to continue. Buyers, once they achieve overbought, have a tendency to continue to buy. Just on the whole, sellers achieving oversold have a tendency to continue to sell. So we're looking forward to, I'd say, some additional momentum from the buyers to the extent that we have, I'd say, any kind of major interruptions in the market in terms of either external factors or even internal complications with, I'd say, the level of complexity with the technicals right now. It's not overly complex. We can trade it. Like right now, I've gone to the framework of almost an ascending triangle. We really haven't traded this yet, but the line is directly indicated on the daily, right? That's just about where we're at right now. So I don't want to change. I don't want to change features. We've discussed the symmetrical triangulation in depth, right? We went over for an hour, at least tonight, hour and a half. Angel, I really appreciate you and all your comments in the chat. And I want to put that down here in the specific chat. Angel, thank you so much for your chats earlier on. They will be posted to the VIP in the back. And we appreciate you being here. There we go. And I want to make sure that you know that, Angel, our top VIP. And he just is. I mean, he was the first one in the door, just bam. You guys saw that? I don't know if you saw that. Like before anything started streaming, Angel's already here. Like, what's up, VIPs? He is your number one guys in terms of just the ability to kind of support you guys and walk you through all this stuff. He's dynamic. We're really excited, and we're really blessed to have him. I want to say that, really blessed to have him. So in terms of the carry up framework of this, guys, you have seen that here. Definitely. Looking at that resistance, we could have beat it. You understand the challenges up and above. Let's just recover this specific support to resistance. That's specified. Bam. That was a big deal, guys. That's an important cross-trend line, right? Support to resistance cross-trend line. Big deal. You guys know that was up and above, just slightly up and above that specific line of resistance indicated here. So level of resistance 1, level of resistance 2. Right? Then we had the specific level of resistance on the actual bull flag. So we literally had a triple level of resistance to get up and through. And I'll let you guys know, I even talked about a conditional trade if we were to get up and over this level. A conditional trade if the price of BTC were to get to 48,006 or 48,005, right? Then execute the purchase up and above to continue the framework up and above. But this could be extremely complicated here. And I brought that up not to guide your trades, just to bring up an option for you guys to learn a little bit more about the market. If you're not familiar with conditional trades, maybe that's something you want to open up to. Angel brought up some stop losses, without a doubt. Huge feature in terms of stop losses. We're big on that, mitigating your losses. That is our goal, to maximize your profits and minimize your losses here with the group, and that's just what we do. That's what we try and do. Congrats on all your success so far this year. I want to congratulate all the VIP because it's been a gangbuster year. We have the low target on the 4 hourly. A lot of the other coins have done very well. And we're excited about VIP in 2022. It's going to be a gangbuster year. So the bottom line is this, guys. You have pickups on your daily, very well indicated in terms of this top line threshold of the 200, then this 100. Trend is your friend. Those are two levels that need to hold us as support. If we want an uptrend, these need to hold as support. Bottom line. We're not going to apologize about that. We don't need to reframe it too frequently or not. We don't need to dance around that issue. It's just either going to do it or it's not. We're on a key level of support right now. I'm just going to call this a key level of support. Being on that 200, I like and understand me drawing this flat right now, essentially right on that level pickup. Essentially, we're drawing right onto the 200. Yes, this is the 4 hourly, but we're drawing onto that 200 on the daily. You guys get that? I think that's enough said in terms of that specific choice right here. It's a good framework because we've traded so many of these successfully, right, that we might as well use the framework that's worked. Let's use that equation of success in the past. And to the extent that this triangulation wants to play, yes, the confirmation is more than a bit high. It's beyond the expectations of the market. That doesn't mean that traders are not going into the market right now. It's just that the more experienced traders are looking at this probably with a little bit of hesitancy. I'll tell you, a little bit of hesitancy, knowing that, yes, okay, and let's even say on the 4-hourly, yes, that's too high in terms of, you guys know it's too high in terms of the ascending triangle. We don't want a confirmation that high. That's not even within the realm of reason. We would like a small confirmation. Just a small indicated confirmation there. In terms of the level below, just understand we have that 100 below. To the extent that you would like to framework out additional levels of the Fibonacci, if you wanted to be to encapsulate the entirety of this zone, we're going to have a few different options. Okay, and VIP know this in terms of the prior breakout, right? In terms of the prior breakout of the preceding zone. Let's go with the preceding pattern. One of the preceding patterns was the following. You guys know this. So in terms of this specific descending triangle, which is broken out of, descending line of resistance, the flat bottom support, we could definitely draw the Fibonacci's right up and through this zone. We're currently at that 50% retracement, okay, which coincides on the hourly. That coincides with, on the daily, the specific 200 moving average. Okay, so that's a nice framework to put things into, to operate on the previous breakout, being that we're currently at that level of, I'd say, indicated target. Another set of Fibonacci's, right? Another set of Fibonacci's. It is just the nature of this range. If we were to go to the entirety of the range, with the understanding that buyers, participants like to step down into the preceding framework, okay, rather than always the ultimate framework, they'll like to step down and just to the preceding. I've noted that. Noted for the record. I just told you guys that. They like to step into this, but the entirety of the range, from the range low to the range high, there we go. On the range low to the range high, we're currently right at that top level of the Fibonacci. All right, so it could be a great level for interaction, given the range low to the range high. All right, so be prepared to trade. You guys know that. Unfortunately, the bull flag did not indicate. You guys know that. The bull flag did not indicate. To the extent that we are down and below, we don't necessarily want to be down and below within this pattern framework. The lines save, and really we're back to square one with this being a very normal participation in any specific Fibonacci range. Right? We are a group that likes to target. If you guys don't know that, you don't know our group. I want to shout out to all our VIP, especially to just to everybody who's been chatting. What's up? You guys have any spare time to chat with me? Okay, I'm done with the technicals for a while. I've had my screen stolen by my cell phone. That happened if you guys weren't here, etc. But yeah, I would like to. I want to chat for a minute. What do we got here? Let me see what we got. Let's see. We have Pathfinder saying, yes, appreciate the videos. You're welcome, brother. I like this trade group a lot. Luke saying, nice take. Very, very nice. And yeah, if you guys have anything else to say, let me see what you guys got. And there we go. I just want to say interaction is uplifting. I want to reconfirm. There we go. Confirm that yeah, interaction. Let me see this. Is hugely. I'm gonna put hugely positive. I'm gonna put hugely positive and needed. It just is so needed to have some interaction, guys. In terms of quality interaction with guys who are doing well in the market, who don't have an axe to grind or a coffer to fill or anything along those lines, who are literally just here to do well. It's just really cool, guys. You guys rock. I just want to put that. And I appreciate that comment, Angel, by you. And I just want to shout out to all you guys, from Luke to Pathfinder to who else we got? Slim. Where'd you go up there? You got the monkey. see no monkey. That is funny. Angel, I'll get some of these comments to the back. I appreciate that. Stop losses. Looks like Pathfinder's using the stop losses. Very nice. No Torque killed the trade. No Torque, what's up, dude? All right, I got to ask you, No Torque. All the VIPers are like, and he's not going to be a VIP? All right. I even brought up the component the other day of maybe we get rid of the base camp. I thought of that. I was like, should we upgrade the base camp into like a medium camp? Because you can only spend so long at base camp. You're supposed to spend 2 weeks at base camp. Do you know that? I got to tell you guys, Mount Everest, everything else, you're supposed to spend 2 weeks at base camp. And then you're supposed to go up. You have to acclimate to base camp for Mount Everest, then you go up. Then you're ready. If you're trained up, etc., you go up. So no torque, brother, your cover is blown. We need you to go ahead and upgrade to VIP. Any other base campers, anybody else? And I'll just say this, 2022 is all about new relationships, reestablishing relationships, etc. We have been that way since day one. Angel and I caught wind very quickly, didn't we, Angel? In terms of the fact that 2021 threw some curveballs. We were looking even at headquarters, all these different things. Angel, I think there was an issue with health with some family member, et cetera, just maybe a friend or family member, and those plans got derailed. And to the extent that 2022 has just been this year about it's about the trading, it's about booking the trades, it's about the market, it's about crypto, but a few real severe reminders that it's about life, it's about our relationships, it's about what's going on around us, that grip that we have on our relationships, on our friendships, and how good of an environment that we can continually express between ourselves. It's crucial without being like a halftime Super Bowl pep talk or whatever, get back on the field, boys. That's not it. It's we've had continual reminders like that. Some things that, just so that amidst the technicals, we're watching Bitcoin at 44,502, potentially picking up on this line of prior, I'll just say prior, essentially, this line of prior, it is a cross-trend resistance to support, right? But without getting coachy about it, it's just reinstilling the framework of that between ourselves is just crucial because we don't see that quality in and around the space of crypto. So it makes this group very, very unique. And so when Angel says that the level of interaction is very uplifting, that it is uplifting, just to let you guys know, like we're celebrating success, guys, amongst guys that are very capable, and it's just not a trash crowd. Again, I don't care what you guys did last summer. I don't even care what you guys do this summer. Go do it, but stay safe, be good, be around good people, and it's not about flash pizzazz and like who's got the $1 billion bank account. You all have to have one. It's about the fundamentals of technical analysis. It's about finding those opportunities, and we find them throughout the year, guys. They ultimately will come to people participating in the market that are pretty lucrative. If you spent time in crypto, you probably run across one or two. Maybe you didn't get that one. It's like the swing at the plate for the Grand Slam. Maybe you didn't get that one. Well, you're up at the plate again. You have the opportunity to hit one this year, and we just want to do it with the right group. And that's not a moral statement or even an all-inclusive or exclusive statement that we do have everyone else can go fly a kite. That's not it. It's just that's the type of people we want to attract in the space in terms of having a disciplined, consistent approach to the framework of technical analysis as it's applied to ensure everybody does well. I always remind people, it's not a question of if you can make money in the market. It is not a question of if you can make money in the market. We can schedule in $5,000, $5 or $5 million on a Fibonacci. I almost promise you, okay, because I haven't found a chart that wouldn't work. Maybe a few that got rug pulled, right? If a rug pull happened. I haven't found a chart where you couldn't have made some money on a Fibonacci scheduled in appropriately with either $5, $5,000, or $5 million. Okay? The question is, well, how much money can you make? Because that's what you get into. You want to deploy more of that capital. If it's $5, $5,000, $5 million, you want to deploy more of that capital. You want to make more money. And as that continues to manifest itself, I'll just encourage you all to be patient by the day. The people who got, and by the week and by the month. Be patient by the day and by the week and by the month. Okay? Literally in crypto. You'll see what the day, then the week, and then the month does. It's the consistency and the discipline. As you look at this specific retracement here on BTC, you guys know this. How long did it take this guy to get his specific target here from the top? It took him 76 days to get this specific target, the lowest in the market, for this specific run. For the 76 days it took him, patience, right? 76 days it took him to get the current return of 34%, over 34% in the next 65 days. So, yes, we'd like to trade more aggressively, et cetera, but as you're looking at the time frame, we all want to book trades. We all want to find the perfect pattern. We all want to get into it. Sometimes the market's very unaccommodating. You have to have the backup cash. As Freddie will say, you have to have that dry powder, right? You have to have that. Or even CNBC. I heard them say that on CNBC. Very, very cool. As we look at the price action of Bitcoin right now at 2.33% to the downside. Look at some of the coins. A few are falling off stronger than others. Ethereum Classic falling off about 6%. There's a lot of other coins we could put into the framework here. If I were to include all the coins on on Gate, guys, good gosh. You want to see a marathon session, me going through every coin on Gate? Oh my gosh. You guys know this. They're all on. They are all on. Here we go. There we go. That is the truth. What's up, my man? Love that. Here we go. Robert, what's up? Hey, and you said that in a perfect time frame. Robert just got back in the mix, and Angel's back. Angel, what's up, brother? Having a pulse on the market is key. Interaction is imperative. Man, it is just crucial. And it's just we are very fortunate. We are beyond. I want to put this. We are beyond fortunate to be able to interact, to be able to have this group. Boom. VIP. I'm just going to put that in the bottom. I really mean that, guys, to everybody. I want to shout out to Robert. Robert was here last week. Angel, as you saw, Robert joined last week. And Robert in Basecamp right now, understand one of the best trades booked by anybody was by a Basecamper this last week. No Torque literally took at the top after I sent out a notice of resistance. No Torque sold at the top. Bam. Completely killed it. So, Robert, we welcome you back. Hopefully everything's going well, and we're excited to have you. Angel is around. We're chatting about the importance of interaction. It's just huge. And what a gift that we have in terms of just the ability to interact. And we appreciate that. We'll go ahead and say we appreciate that, YouTube. Thank you for that privilege. And anyone else involved in that decision, thank you. I appreciate that. We'd like to magnify that this year. We'd like to magnify that and multiply it this year. That is what we're about. But the quality is over the quantity without a doubt. So Robert's back and Angel's back. Angel, I reread some of your chats so that you know. I don't know if you were around or anybody else, but we have pretty much exclusive VIP probably here now. It's about 11 o'clock at night. I reread most of your chats, and we'll share them in the back with the VIP. Just so that you know, that's critically important. And I lost my cell phone or my screen for a bit. I plugged my cell phone in. It took my technicals, so that was really nice. I enjoyed that. But the important part is that we had this specific framework. And as Robert, as you stream into the room, and anyone else is streaming in, that you know what a descending triangle is capable of, my brother. Okay, Robert, that you know what a descending triangle is capable of, even if it has bullish contraindications. And I'll go through the contraindications here quickly. You saw that in the video today. I hope you got the book by John J. Murphy, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. Okay, and that's, I just tell you, New York Institute of Finance, they cover, not in that book, but in other sessions, they do cover crypto. Okay, they talk about Bitcoin, they talk about a lot of coins, guys, a lot of things. So we can get through all that later. But in terms of the descending line of resistance, the flat bottom, beware. When you see one, just beware. Yes, we were almost up and out this morning, ready to do it, ready to trade. It just wasn't indicated. We didn't break the threshold in terms of, like in the contraindication would be that bull flag. Move to the upside, downward sloping channel, cutting against that specific move to the upside. We want that downward sloping channel. It was perfect. Right? That's the 5 minute, the 30 minute. Look at that. Nice bull flag. Right? So to the extent that we had on the 30 minute, on the 5 minute, on the different time frames, this descending triangle, just be prepared for what a descending triangle can do to the market. And if you trade and one of these literally just collapses on you, Angel, when we were trading last year a bit, one of the things, and Angel, shout out to Robert. Nice to see you guys in chat there. Robert, if you're still around, that'd be cool. See you chat a little bit. Let's see how your trades are going. But Angel, we were trading a bit last year. Audio was one of the first features that really blasted up that night. If you remember the first night we really started trading, and audio worked its way up into a descending triangle. We were up into this zone. I was like, it was getting kind of, it was getting a little bit dangerous. I'm like, I don't think we want to be a part of this. And I was like, I could cut early or I could play for a breakout. I'm like, no, we're getting out of this thing. And I got out of it, and sure enough, bam, it did exactly this. That was one of the first nights we actually traded last year. Angel, it was a lot of fun in terms of that. Hopefully we'll be able to do some of that, more of that in the future, to the extent that things permit. But looking at that, it reminds me of that first feature, just knowing that when you see an indicated flat bottom support, just be aware. Okay, you can still complete to the upside, break that resistance, formulated into support, bam, to the upside. You can still do that. You can receive a fake out to the downside, but they can be very, very costly in terms of your ability to ignore them can equate to literal dollars lost. I'll tell you that, okay? Your ability to ignore them can equate to literal dollars lost. All right, so pay attention to them, right? Okay, without a doubt. The other thing I wanted to bring up, let's see here. Line of support, bam, across the bottom. Line of resistance across the top. A little bit of a variation here. Now we have a little bit of a variation in terms of this specified line to this specified line. That's interesting. I would really like to see this filled out. Let me tell you why. I would like to see this specific pattern filled out. And it's a pleasure to have you guys here tonight. I have to say that. Real pleasure to have all of you here tonight. I appreciate you all being here with Bitcoin Spike. This is our VIP and our base camp. This is our live stream. I appreciate you guys being here covering top technicals. As you look at this preceding level, we haven't covered this yet, and I'm excited to cover this now. Take a look at this specific preceding these two lines of resistance. Very interesting as you look at the price action up along these two candle wicks. Bam, bam. Look at the framework that this specific bull flag tried to hold up into, and what was the threshold, the actual death knell? Bam. When you capitulated beyond, if you'll carry back and through and draw this onto your charts, I think you'll appreciate this, guys. Draw this specific line of resistance exemplified by the candle wicks here. Draw it up into the specific framework of and you'll catch the line because it is that specific. It's interesting. It's whether or not you want to incorporate the specific, this feature here will be the question. That'll be the question, okay? And you can kind of split this, and you can kind of split that down the middle if you want to. If you split that down the middle, and you're within dollars here, guys, okay? That line of resistance, okay, on that specific channel framework preceding, you guys remember that? Along the line of that rising wedge we had, look at that. Bam, that specific bull flag carrying right into that level. Boom. You see that? That is awesome. Register that. Note that. Make sure that you incorporate that into your assessment, your toolkit in terms of what the market is giving us right now. That's a cool feature in terms of. I'm not going to say that we got a breakdown to the extent that that's a potential future short. Look at this candle wick, and candle wick, and that bull flag laid out perfectly. And you guys knew we were doing this. Right now to look at it, it's like we were just walking up along that line and bam, right? Well, we had I'd say the technical fake out. We had pushed up well before. That could have pushed the line up and above. But this was a real close moment this morning. We were looking for momentum, right? We were definitely looking for momentum. And let's see, no torque. Congrats to No Torque. There you go. Upgrading when I get a chance. Good. We can't wait, Robert. This is a good group. You're going to like it in the back. A lot of charts going on. And, yeah, I'm a member too. Just to let you know, I decided to join. I'm excited I joined. It's cool. I'm a VIP. You should be a VIP too. I mean that. Huh? That's cool stuff. So as we look at the break here, what I'm trying to do is identify anything that can be carried down in a parallel function, right? I want to identify anything that could be carried down in a parallel function. Very interesting with these lines. Huh. Look at this, guys. Not bad. If you take this top line here, very interesting. Take that top line here. All right, in terms of the level of resistance by these preceding, and this is a very odd channel I'm going to tell you guys from this level of resistance to support. This is a very atypical. I'd say atypical. I'm not going to say an anomaly, but it's just atypical. I don't want to get into subjective application of trend lines. I don't. I want to maintain within the threshold of technical analytics, the fundamentals of technical analytics and analysis. Okay, Phantom looked like it's doing pretty well. Nice to see Phantom running up a bit. That's a solo practitioner today, up 3.12%. Nice. I want to look at the chart in a minute. But carry this line of resistance down in a parallel function to the downside. Let's take a look at that. Let's carry that parallel channel down. Let's go from resistance to resistance to resistance. Let's do that, and let's carry this down in terms of the framework here. And see, these specific hits in this zone are crucial. We're currently at that level. Buyers are being enticed to pick up along that specific line of support, right? The throw over concept here in terms of throw over, this is a dynamic of Elliott wave. Okay, it just is. Anytime you have wave functions within a channel formation and a throw over, the technical throw over, this specific line of resistance as a throw over expectation many times. And I mentioned this on one of my did I tell you guys that before it happened? I think I did tell you guys that just before this happened. On one of the videos here recently, the expectations would be to capitulate down to this threshold level of support. Very interesting, right? I think I'm not sure. I'll have to look back in terms of where exactly I mentioned that in the framework of this pricing behavior. But as we would look at that, just understand that the expectation is at least a capitulation back down to this level of support. All right, at least, right? If you saw the oil chart, Brent crude, West Texas Intermediate, etc., recently, very familiar concept. Up and over the line of resistance, back to the level of support, bam. Pick up. That one picked up. We'll see if this behaves like the oil market did, and boom, decides to pick up here. It would be great to see some additional, as we would look at this, to see some additional patterning. I'm not angry at all to get off of micro patterning. It was a dynamic flag within the context of a descending triangle, wasn't it? It was just awesome. It was, I mean, that flag, man, we wanted that to play. That was this morning, right? This is tonight. It's just literally, that was yesterday. This is today, without a doubt. Looking at this framework here, like when I talk about, it would be great to see some dynamic additional patterning go on. We'd love to see a macro pattern like this just jump out. You know, if it wants to offer traders an additional opportunity to trade, boom, wouldn't this be great? Let's formulate a bull pennant. Let's get up and out of a bull pennant and rocket to the upside, right? Can we do something like that? Absolutely. Now, the complication will come into the following. The complication would come into the following context as traders currently assess this is looking at this run to the upside. Bam, nice move to the upside. Okay, here, this is not that nice move of high velocity, boom, straight line to the upside that we would anticipate repeating. It's just not. We had it here. Dang it, right? We had that nice move, this rocket launch to the upside, the consolidation, right? We had that bull pennant feature. And here we have kind of a stodgy run up. It's a little bit lackluster. I'm going to say that. It's not exactly what we would hope for. Could it play out? Certainly. You'll see some of the coins that are not as aggressively minded. Dot, I had to say, Polkadot is one of those. Slow, easy marcher is Polkadot, right? Not necessarily to $100 tomorrow, right? That could happen someday in the future, but it's a slow, easy, progressive little marcher that likes to go 2, 3, 4, 5%, right? It doesn't always like to take off at 15, 20%. Sometimes it does. But as we look at that, I had brought that to the community just so you know. I try and bring you guys some trades. And in the back, we were covering a few nights ago, went through like so many of these. It was hard not to have a chart that would indicate a 20, 30, or 40% move within the last week to 2 weeks. That's a great week to 2 weeks for VIP. Congratulations to everybody who's been trading. I want to put congratulations to VIP. I just want to put that in the chat so that you guys know that's sincere and you guys rock and roll. It's exciting to have you all here. Robert, we're glad that you're hanging out with us a bit. Just to let you know in the back, Robert, we are cruising with charts. Look at this. I'd love to see this one. While we are literally streaming, look at the charts here in terms of USDT.D. Look at that micro bull pennant. Beautiful chart. Bam. Very nicely laid out, my man. Beautiful chart. Love to see that. Look at that from Pathfinder. Bam. Very, very, very nicely done. As we would look at the bull pennant, let's look at this on the chart framework. Look at Pathfinder. Look at this nice move to the upside. You see that? Bam, on USDT.D. That's tether dominance. Nice move to the upside. The symmetrical. Thanks. This is perfect teamwork, brother. VIP to VIP. Way to go, brother. Nice move to the upside. The symmetrical consolidation. Bull pennant. Bam. The expectation, repeat of that amplitude. So we don't exactly have that bam. Nice move to the upside. It's a little bit jagged, right? We had that here. Boom. So to the extent that we can pattern here, the traders are ready. I'll tell you that. We've recovered a little bit in price. We're ready. I don't want to talk the price down. We're along the level of technical support. Okay, it's recognized by this specific. And I'll tell you, we want to hold this channel. Without a doubt, we want to hold this channel. See a little bit of a cross trend line here. I want to go ahead and designate this cross trend line right in this zone. Okay. Maybe a bad habit, but it turns out to be really, really useful in terms of cross trend lines. Sometimes I'll extend them out just to see what else they would encapsulate. Not too much more, but I'm noticing that right now here on the map. That is a cross trend line. We'll go to the candle wicks and show you what you're above, what you're below. In terms of this specific line here, let me remove this one. We would have preferred to have stayed above that line of prior resistance. Would have been huge. Now on the lines, that's on the candle wicks. On the lines, we are. This is 2022. You got to check your candle wicks, without a doubt. On the lines, you have picked up just about at that level expressed on the let's see here, the 1 hourly. Still not yet fully. Still not yet fully. Would it be a surprise not to get to that hourly? That's a pretty stout level of prior resistance. That's like the key level of prior resistance. In terms of a confirmation, yes, we had a curl up feature here that we covered while it was occurring. You guys remember that? Nice curl up feature, kind of a confirmation on that 1 hourly. It's a prior level of resistance. What I always say, show me a prior resistance, I'll show you orders waiting at that level. It's not if you're going to get there, or is it going to go up or is it going to go down? It's that there are orders waiting. You guys know that. Do they get picked up? Well, guys, there are orders waiting all over the place in here. The guy wants you, he wants to, does he want to pay us to tell him ahead of time, is it going to get picked up or not? We're not going to dictate what the exchange does. We're just not going to do that, nor the wallets of other people, right? We'll discuss trades within our own group, etc. But getting into, kind of backdoor demand functions, the supply pipeline, or, in terms of the overall exchange. Let's get into the back room. That sounds like an awful idea for 2022. Let's get into the back door, of Binance. Yeah, that's a bad idea, guys. Looking at this line of resistance carried down here is more of a joke than anything. What of concern, I'll say, when I bring this specific line, we do have a contraindication or contradiction here. This line of resistance on the candle wicks that is brought down, bam, do recognize one thing. While we could stretch this a little bit below even, this is the primary pickup level with the most indicated parallel function equivalent with the resistance, 1, 2, 3, and the 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4 here, bam. That's a solid line in terms of the current pickup, okay? In terms of a contraindication along that same line, let's go to the actual so I can demonstrate the actual concept involved. This specific line here could function as a prior support to resistance, which at times they do like to crawl up. I'm going to say this, just don't be overexposed in your current position. You guys know that. Whether or not you're at the golden pocket or the 786 or the 86 or the 23.6, or if you're at the top or you're at the bottom, don't be overexposed. Period. Always be able to cover your upside position. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. And if you could book a trade maximizing the low to the high, congratulations. To the extent that any VIPs did that, or base campers, with an entry in this level and a exit at this specified level, we shouted again to No Torque, hero of the night, champ of the night, in terms of he just booked the trade. He got in tonight. He's base camp. He's like, yeah, London, you did that video the other day on the resistance line. That's a focused trader right there. Focused trader, like without a doubt, brother. Very, very, very crucial. Very nice to see. Just very impressive, without a doubt. So we shout out to you again. Looking at this framework again, it's going to be difficult to stay off of this line here, this prior resistance. I'm just going to say that on the 4 hourly. If the market proves me wrong, beautiful. Okay, having a mechanism by which, or a position by which you could capture potential profits to the upside. That is part of the name of the game, right? Increasing your exposure along the Fibonacci levels or layers down. Heavier, I say heavier amounts of cash involved at lower levels, whether or not you're on the micro or the macro. Period. You can go all gangbuster and feed in millions of dollars and crank in along these levels. You could do that, and one-way ticket to Heart Attack Central if you want to do that. Or you can be patient and compound down and let the actual price action come to you at heavier cash, at heavier levels, to increase your volume of coins, okay, with less of a cost basis, right? With less cost per coin. That's the idea. More capital involvement with less cost per coin equals more coins. Period. Simple formula. And BTC is not the only chart, guys. Come on, in your altcoins, definitely with the levels of volatility we see in the altcoins, you want more capital exposure at the lower levels, without a doubt. Particularly as they're retracing, right? Those are the key moves that you get to in terms of some of those retracements. So we're seeing a 50% retracement twice on BTC. We haven't given up the overall channel in terms of the level of support to resistance, right? That channel framework exemplified by let's see, let me go back to this. Actually, let me take these Fibonacci's off. By this specific parallel channel here. Just understand what I was just commenting on. It's going to be a little difficult to stay off this line. Okay, that's a primary cross trend line as well. as we would look at this, okay? The support to the resistance, that line would be indicated along with that 100 moving average. We don't have to touch the 100, but there are orders at that level. Whether or not those are your orders and along this level or lower, that's up to you. And at what level, that's up to you. I would just always recommend the equation that the lower that you're willing to go in price on something, and in crypto, you better be willing to own it at 50% or 75% off, maybe even 86% off, depending upon what you're looking at. Period. If you're not willing to own it or cover your position, if you're like, well, I was 50% off, I didn't think we were going any lower. Well, the golden pocket is lower than that, right? That gravitating, kind of magnetizing. What we say that golden ratio to which all things tend to gravitate towards, that golden pocket, the 61.8 to the 65% essentially, right, is below that 50%. So this specific trend line, cross trend line, the support to resistance, it would be nice to see. I'd say either that or the 100 pickup, to the extent that this is in the process to kind of scale back the level of the emergency thus far, kind of re-encapsulate everything. The retest of this specific moving average was contemplated. You guys know we've been discussing it for a while. Definition of the uptrend, right? In terms of getting up and above the moving averages, right? And then using them as support along the way up. This is exactly what happened here, right? It just did. In summer 2021, bam, reconfirmation, boom, boom, right? So to the extent that that's what's going on, we could almost congratulate everyone for achieving this required level of resistance to support. Resistance in this area, if you guys go to the candle wicks, right, and definitely on the other time frames, but yeah, the resistance to the level of, let's say, dynamic resistance to support, because the EMAs those moving averages do tend to fluctuate and follow the price action, right? They're not stagnant or static lines. We would like to get on this MACD. As you guys look at this, I would like to see on the MACD, what would be crucial here as we're looking at the amplitude moves here. We want to get something that's up and above this threshold. You guys look at the amplitude of these waves, right? We need a big blue wave. You guys know that, right? I've been discussing it. We need a big blue wave. Look at the preceding price action in these, right? In the territory up and above here, we really get up and going, right? Yeah, so we're kind of capped out right now at the equivalent preceding move on the momentum. We don't need to see like a heavy limitation on the momentum. You guys see that? It's like, yeah, there was a little bit more cash back up in here, right? That's really when we're up and going. And markedly, a marked notable difference in the actual velocity of the price, movement of the price. So not that is over with, but I'll just tell you guys, in terms of the upcoming move, the key feature I'm looking at right now, I just want to bring this, and I'm focused on this right now, guys. I am. Just allow me to be, please. This specific framework, because we traded so many of these, just let this line be a little imperfect for right now and see if we can hold this top threshold. It's just like a standard ascending triangle, just a confirmation. It's not a typical confirmation in terms of that ascending triangle, right? But we have the ascending line of support. We have this flat line feature here, and the best for the bulls is that we confirm this level of previous resistance to support with the notification, or with the understanding that it's variable. It's downward sloping, it's upward sloping, depending upon which time frame we're on. 77-minute has it flat. I'm going to stick with the 77-minute because it does, and it accommodates the rationale right now that we're at current pickup, with the understanding that we have multiple levels to deal with of the Fibonacci's below. For he who wants to schedule in his Fibonacci's, this is a beautiful thing. Compound in at lower levels. Yeah, he who wants to trade can trade. We like downward price action to the extent it allows us to hit our targets. I want to see Phantom. What is Phantom doing? Great project. I like Phantom a lot. Grown to really appreciate Phantom, without a doubt. A lot of that had to do with its price action, guys. Okay. What was this? Q4 up through January, right? The end of the year was just like, okay, Phantom is Phantom. It's going to continue to be Phantom. Harmony One also did a similar style. Cosmos, Atom also did a similar style in terms of the framework of the charts. You can lay them over very similar framework in terms of Atom, right? Phantom, Harmony One, boom, 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 right? Waves has outperformed Luna has now outperformed. So in terms of price action recently, it would be, in terms of all-time high, it would be, what would we say? It would be waves, without a doubt. In terms of resiliency in conquering this pattern here, from Phantom to one to Cosmos, Phantom wins the cup. Okay, not Phantom. I'm sorry. Luna wins the cup. Luna is the one, and I can go through them. Clearly, Luna wins the cup. Luna is the one that has only retraced 50% and gone up to new all-time highs. So of Phantom, let me get this right. Of Phantom, of Harmony One, and of Cosmos. And Cosmos mixes me up because it's called Atom. That's what always throws me for a loop as I say these out loud. So of Atom, Phantom, and Harmony One, Luna is the killer. I got to tell you, that's the one that has run away with the market, the market cup. All right, unless you wanted it to recapitulate further down. If you wanted more of a discount, in terms of Phantom, that's the other way to look at it. In terms of Phantom, if you wanted more of a discount, I wanted it to go to the 86% retracement or the 78.6 retracement. In which case, you might be willing to say, well, that's more important to me than achieving just a higher high. A higher high, a new all-time high. I want more of a discount. I want to traject back to that all-time high. You guys can categorize it the way you want to. In company, I'm going to tell you, and company that I keep and you keep, etc., guys, it's somewhat important to have told someone about Luna last year, and you guys know this. For instance, Luna, and well, yeah, it did retrace about 50%, right? It had a little bit of an issue where they were restructuring. Now they're, openly public about Bitcoin, etc. When you look at that, and it's like, well, yeah, it's a new all-time high. It did go down 50%, 50%. It's, crypto is volatile. You understand there's a level of volatility. It's not 86% down, right? It's not 78.6% down now. No, it was, right? So with the understanding that Luna presents a very good corporate story right now, just to let you guys know, enterprise level, top level of, for all of us who told people about Luna back in this area, strong, very strong. Shout out to Angel. What's up, my man? Blasted that. Ba-boom. Very nice. Very, very nice. If we knew now what we knew then, man. And we did know then what we know now, I guess, somehow, right? Did well enough on that. Congratulations. Trade in process. So as we look at this, guys, be prepared to pick up at this level prior resistance to support. Be prepared also to execute at those specific levels of the Fibonacci. Guys, you are awesome. I wanted to just encapsulate this as an emergency because in a lot of respects it is. We have various lines that need to hold right now to continue primarily on trend is your friend, that 200. We need to hold 200 and 100. Yeah, this is going to be an uptrend. This is the emergency edition. You guys got it. A Bitcoin spike. It's got to hold. So I will let you guys go. I appreciate everything. Appreciate you being here. We will talk to you soon. I may cut a video later. BTC picking up a bit. You guys be prepared for positive price action. We're looking forward to it. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Thanks so much for all the VIP, etc. Great chat tonight. Pleasure being here with you, and we'll get back to you soon with